I need water. Can you give me a water bottle?
Go get one.
Potty break. It's gonna be a potty break.
I've already started streaming, you guys.
Are you kidding me?
Why does yours look so much thicker than
Hello,
Pause it.
survivors,
Pause
and
live.
welcome to RSG and the
So we
bunker.
started off this stream. Wait. Hold on. No. We're not going into that. We started off this stream with, wait, you need a potty break? Then followed by, why is yours so much thicker than mine? Now,
Yeah.
there has to be some kind of context behind it that we need to explore before we start the stream. So
Do what you do.
So, okay. No, I'm just going straight into it. They know how we roll. That's how we do. It's just how it is. Welcome to the bunker with RSG. Thank you guys for joining. It's actually, I think, the first and longest running State of Survival stream now. So, welcome. We appreciate all you guys watching and joining in. The first people that you heard on the stream, they were our special guests tonight. They've actually been on the stream a couple times. We just love them, so we invited them back, especially because tonight is an SVS type topic. They're eating pizza, and they're making me jealous because I don't have pizza in my hand. But that is Nikki and Nero, our favorite couple.
Hi.
Hey guys.
Of course, you know Delete down here in the corner. Oh,
You.
so Delete's from 125 and 359. So are Nikki and Nero. 125 mains. They also play 359. Nero's slowly having two mains now, it looks like. Close to two mains. Yeah. And then, of course, we have Finn, which I don't know what Finn's doing. Where are you at? Where's your face?
Nightmares of Bonnie and Clyde.
happy Friday the 13th.
Oh my God.
This is starting out as the best stream
Lovely.
ever.
That's right.
Lovely.
I'm on your hand.
We can barely hear you, too.
Okay.
You're like all muffled.
Whose hair is better, mine or Nikki's?
Nikki's, by
Nikki.
far.
I don't know. I think I can kind of compete there.
No. Nowhere near able to compete. I
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. When you do that flip, it's kind of cute, though. Do that again.
Yeah, adorable.
I whip my hair back and forth.
My lord.
Oh my goodness. So tonight, thank you guys for joining. We want to welcome all of the people in the stream right now, the viewers. We have King, dude, long time no see. Where you been, man? It's good to have you back. We have Adam Fink, Sniper Demon, Letty, Killer Nikki, Pale Squirrel. He's from 125. What's up? We have Zoltan. Love you, Zoltan. Nightmare. Bonnie and Clyde. Nightmare said, "What's up, Bonnie and Clyde?" And Apex Predator. Thanks for joining, guys. We appreciate you popping in. So tonight's stream, we're going to talk a bit later about SVS and how to be a support player. Oh, Obito. Finn, how do you say that? Obito Uchi.
Obito Uchiha.
Obito.
It's a Naruto character. It's Obito. It's Obito,
Obito.
Uchiha.
Obito.
I like it. Obito. I always want to say Obito, though. That'll be hard for me. So we're going to talk SVS support roles later on in the stream, mostly about, yes, I do have the French tips for you, Loki, just for you. So we'll be talking about support roles and what you can do if you are not Delete size character in the game. Like what you can do as a support character or a supporting alliance in SVS, because we're going through SVS now and we're actually in 359. We are definitely in a support role. We're not in a top alliance. So we're going to talk a bit about what you can do for SVS in that respect. Before we start talking about that, we're going to go over some of the updates that have happened in the last, well, not really updates. I guess they were called news, so-called news. So there's been, there was initially the talk of the State 500 and everybody moving to State 500. And then shortly after now, there was the rumor about, well, there was not so much a rumor, it was confirmed that they were talking about doing testing for plasma in the testing servers. They were doing the plasma upgrades. And then there's also the tier 11. So, and I don't know why I'm losing my voice, but yeah, we were that's all been out there in the open, and people are in an uproar about it. So now there's rumors about a boycott on spending, which kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about last week. We went over this a lot, didn't we, guys? We went over it a lot about how this is kind of going to be a big deal for a lot of people. And obviously it was. And, people were talking about boycotting, and I know that's still ongoing. Don't really know a whole lot about it, but I know enough to the point where the devs actually felt that a feedback response to some of the issues were warranted. So I did want to go over some of the developer feedback that was posted on the Facebook, and we can talk about those as we go through each point. About the T11 troops. Now this was posted, I think, what was it? Sorry, my coffee's here. I gotta get my coffee fixed.
Yours is thicker than mine. I said that.
He gave me my coffee. Thank you.
I would take that as a compliment, Nero. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'll leave that alone.
I'm talking about the pizza.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so
she's talking about the pizza.
Oh yeah, that's what it was all about. So number one, this was posted a couple days. I can't remember what day exactly. I screenshotted it, but I didn't put a date on it for some reason. But they were just answering on Facebook developer feedback time for some frequently asked questions right now. So about the T11 troops, so far we have only implemented T11 troops in PTR and State 1 for testing purposes. It's not a final version of that feature. Dev team is doing research and survey to collect players' feedback now. In the near future, developers will improve T11 troops based on the feedback collection from players. We want to expand the T11 feature to more states before we are sure the feature will be accepted by players. Which I thought was really good wording, or interesting wording. We're not going to release it or expand it until we're sure that the feature will be accepted. Like, I don't know, that's new wording from a dev team for me, when they just want you to accept it, not so much as whether it'll work or not. Increasing daily plasma output. So it's confirmed that developers will increase the daily free plasma output in states that have unlocked the level 5 plasma tech, states older than 22 weeks. Players will have access to more free plasma every day, and the game team is also thinking about other methods to give away more free plasma to our players. So they are saying that this implementation will be next week. Then the state merge and alliance trade. Both of these two features are already in game team's development plan now, but the teams need more time to investigate further on details like how to handle the ownership of fortress, capital, etc. in the new combined states, how to synchronize the state development progress in different states, blah, 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 blah. Also, then they go into Reservoir League, which I'm kind of really like, what are you guys doing with this? Like, they need to start something with this because it's been there forever. They've conducted a test in the RR League beta in the past 2 months, and developers fine-tuned the features based on player feedback and suggestion. The brand new Reservoir Raid League season will be released officially online in late November, but they did not give a date on that. So, Finn, what are your thoughts on the boycott and how it relates to the dev feedback afterwards? Because this came after the boycott kind of circulated.
So one thing that always has to be kept in mind is that your actions from the past, while people may forgive you or look past it, they are going to come back at some point, right? The problem is with the last time they did the beta test, they tested but didn't really take any of the feedback and then immediately launched it, right? Mm-hmm. That was a problem. So it made it seem like they're not listening to whoever is testing the beta. So now they brought out a new test realm, have people testing it, brought something that's really overpowered, which is normally fine in a test realm because you're supposed to be doing testing to begin with. The problem is you now have a history where you don't listen to the feedback you get from said beta test. So for them to come back and say that we're going to wait until it's accepted before like releasing, I think is a good thing, because they basically are acknowledging the fact that maybe they were rash to release stuff last time. They know what the proper process is that they need to go through in order to do it. So the boycott is a little bit maybe premature to go that far, like to express your concern about it. Like I think Delete did, and whoever is on the test realm should have a way of providing this feedback, right? That would be the better channel to go about it. and to provide your feedback through those kind of means. A boycott is going a little too far, honestly, mainly because it's not in the test realm. Like, you're boycotting something that's not there yet. They're simply just
But wait,
testing.
Finn, I think
The
there might be
plasma changes are different. The plasma changes are different.
okay, I was about to say, because the plasma research is out there.
The plasma research is different.
Yeah.
So that one I'm going to put a
That's
little
what
to the
they're
side. I'm talking more about
boycotting.
the troops. Yes. But there was a few things people were boycotting, because there was also a lot of talk about the tier 11 troops just breaking the game.
I think it's more about the plasma.
If it's about the plasma, then that's definitely worth the boycott, and then it does exactly what it is, right? It's not worth necessarily boycotting, but to say that, yes, there is a problem. This is not something we're going to spend for, and you need to change it. That's the way they went about it. And if it got a response, then that's good, right? They addressed it quickly enough that hopefully it's not spreading and going nuts. That's pretty much it.
I don't know that I like the whole idea of that people have to frame a boycott and organize one to get them to listen to issues. And I would like to think that without the boycott that they might have listened, because they had enough feedback saying that this was a big problem. Like, we had our stream that week, and in the, some of the, contacts that we have, they had said, we recognize that people are upset about this and we're going to look at it. So what I'm worried about is that people think it's the boycott that is driving them to make the changes. Is it? Do we know it's the boycott, or were they already thinking about doing some of these changes, but they had to address it because of the boycott? They had to put it out there and put a feedback to it, Does that make sense, what I'm saying? Like,
it does, but we've said this about every other mobile game we've played too, right? It's the same thing with, like, when we did our Star Wars mobile game, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is ultimately the deciding factor for microtransaction games? It's the 16 digits, right? That's what I'm just going to term it now, Delete. That's the term now.
Yeah,
it's the 16 digits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
keep doing
that's
it.
ultimately what's going to decide it. The consumer has only one way. Like, we're maybe a little bit of a special case, right? Because we stream, we have kind of a voice, we might be on our Discord and stuff, and some people may be on the Discord too, but not everyone has the ability or capability of doing Discord. Like, we have people that have no idea what the hell Discord is, right?
Yeah, which
I'm
is
sorry, I'm
crazy
going to say this.
now.
Yeah. So it's just not everyone is apt to all of the new technology. So Discord may not be something that's in their wheelhouse. Facebook may not be in there, and they don't know how else to voice their opinion. That is the way to voice your opinion, right? But it's a matter of doing it in a way that I don't think is overly aggressive.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe
like
that's
trying
the
to,
thing.
it's not trying to shut down the game. There's a difference between, like, boycotting to shut down the game and boycotting to get a change. And this was in order to get a change. And there was a specific purpose. We've seen ones that don't have any purpose. It's just like, oh, your game is too expensive, we're going to boycott. No, there needs to be a purpose behind it. And the purpose was the plasma. The plasma changes were not good. You took something away from players that they had for a long time. Now, our state didn't get that. Like 359 never had the old one. So we only had the new one. But for those that had it previously, they lost it. And that's something you never want to do. So I think it makes more sense with what they did and how they went about it. I don't think that it went overly crazy with what they were doing, because they were very focused on their kind of request, right? They weren't like against the entire game. They were against the plasma change. And I also heard about the tier 11 troops. If we put that off to the side, it was plasma change. So
yeah. I wasn't in any of the groups, so I don't know, like, all about the focus. Mm-hmm. But from what I've heard, it was like a very distinct, requests, or not, I don't want to say demands, but like, this is what we want addressed and we want you to fix it. And that's kind of where the feedback came from. So I agree with you on that. As long as it's not like crazily aggressive to try to shut the game down, I agree. And Nikki, I saw her in a couple chats going like, this never works, telling you boycotts never work because nobody is willing. I mean, you have people that are willing to not spend, but then you have the people that take advantage of that point and be like, okay, well, this is my time to get ahead a little bit, so I'm going to spend more. What do you think? Nikki, that was your turn to go ahead on this.
It's just not going to work. Besides the fact that, I mean, obviously you made the point about Discord. Not everybody's on Discord. Not everybody knows what Discord is. And I even have people that know what it is but refuse to download it because they don't want notifications from whatever. So you can't communicate it to everybody unless you're going to start sending out group messages or like, you know, those announcements from state chat, unless you're going to start doing that. And then you also have the language barrier. You know, we're all talking about a boycott in English, but I don't know if the word boycott translates well. So even if you start doing that, they may have no idea what we're talking about.
It's true.
And yeah, when other people stop spending, that's the perfect opportunity to spend and to push ahead, or at least make yourself level. And that's that would be a trick for, what do you call as dolphin spenders?
Whales.
Whales.
No, because whales. No, you call us dolphins.
Oh, no, like the medium spenders. Yeah, they're dolphins.
And
More like a sea otter.
That would be the me.
Did you say a sea otter?
I don't even know what that means. Anyway, that would be the perfect opportunity for somebody like that to start spending, even if it's only a little bit, to try and even out with not necessarily the whales, but what would be in between a dolphin and a whale.
Yeah, it's true. A dolphin and a whale is like, I don't know
Big
what a
mouth
dolphin
bass.
is.
I don't know. Sure.
Chilean sea bass.
No,
Chilean
I would
sea
say
bass,
I
yeah.
would say a deep sea tuna because they're kind of
I was
big.
gonna say like a giant tuna.
Marlin.
Yeah, a tuna, like the big
Go
ones.
marlin.
Yeah,
And then you
welcome to
have-
the fish stream.
Yeah.
And then you have over the whales is my favorite as the kraken. Those are like DT level spending. Those are called krakens. Yeah. Okay.
Just
Below us.
So-
I have
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, D's just a fat whale.
yeah.
Just a
Slow.
big old
I'm
whale.
The slow whale.
What is the
I'm
biggest
the
whale?
Eeyore of whales.
What's the biggest kind of whale? Is it a sperm whale? What is it? Blue whale?
Blue whale?
No.
Blue whale.
I'm gonna look it up.
Google that.
Humpback?
Welcome to RSG Marine Biology.
I don't know why we get on these
Discovery
tangents.
Channel.
A blue whale.
Okay, so what do we think as far as delete the big deal? What is the big deal about the T-11 troops? So what was the drama about that?
Oh,
What is it?
so
What is it, Nikki? What was it?
I see. I was looking at a picture of whales. It was like a comparison
Go
chart.
Tell 'em.
I said I'm a narwhal.
nah.
So you're a
Love
narwhal.
it. The
I love
unicorns
it.
of the sea.
The
The
middle.
unicorns of the sea.
Yep. Wow, I had hot sauce on my finger and just touched my eye.
Oh, that's gonna be bad. So DT, I just about called you DT. I was just talking
Wow.
about DT, and I just about called you DT. So what are the T-11 troops? What is the big deal? Why are they boycotting them as well?
Well, T11s take. So in the PTR test, it took, let's see, 6,000 hours of research speed ups, and I believe about 28,000 to 30,000 plasma to completely max out your T11 research.
What?
And it was roughly about 4 to 5 billion in reserves to completely max out their research tree. So each, your infantry, your hunters, your riders all had their own specific research tree that you had to go into. First it was 5 sections, then it was 4 sections, and then it was 3 to completely finish it off, like their talents. They had T11 troops had individual talents that you had to max out, and all of them took multiple days. And it was just a lot. It was a lot. Even coming from a completely maxed player at 248 days, I think I achieved that, or 255 days, somewhere in there. It would take me another, if I just went ahead and just did it all, I don't know. The way that I spend, I'm probably looking at another 50 days. Easy of pretty hardcore spending to max out again. Which in our state, we only have 3 alliances left. So the spending tree is kind of already plateaued, So why would I even need to do that? Because the game's already becoming a bit of this is repetitious. This is it's cool right now because 3 alliances can fight for the capital, and we can have like all punch each other, and depending on who's playing nice with who, you know, you kind of team up to kind of do whatever, and it's fun again. But when it was just DT and everything was just like, all right, at least I know where my goal is to chase. You know, I can catch him. You know, that was like the reason for me to spend. But now, if I know that he's just going to go ahead and drop, you know, 10 grand, and I'm going to be like, meh.
No.
So mad on that.
There's no reason.
There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. I'd be like, 125? You guys are awesome.
We talked about this. We talked about it last stream too. Was just like the gap is just so huge between the Kraken spenders. It's huge between what the Kraken spenders will spend and the whales, and then you look at the gap between that and the free to play. Like that gap is just insane. It's going to be insane. So like the plasma that they say they're going to give more plasma out. I saw Letty. Thanks for joining, Letty, by the way. She said, so true. They are saying that they will add 10 more plasma in daily intel. I'm sorry, but 10 more is not going to cut it as far as like lessening that gap. Like there's no way.
What you're talking about 10,000 more.
Yeah, but that doesn't lessen the gap anyways, right? Because you're adding it to all the players. So whatever the free-to-play players are getting, they're still giving it to the other thing. So you're not really lessening the gap in that scenario. You're helping the free-to-play get towards the max a little bit easier. But as soon as they raise the max, all of the people that have been saving up plasmas are just going to be able to boost up to whatever plasma 6 or whatever is next.
But you know what? That's not something that I would be that upset about, because the spenders are supposed to have an advantage. They're supposed to. That's the point of spending. You should have an advantage. But it shouldn't be an advantage that nobody else can eventually get to. Like the advantage, and I say it all the time, Finn, I loved your analogy about spending should buy time. You're cutting down the time that it takes to get to a certain point so that you have that faster than anybody else. But it shouldn't be impossible for anybody else to get it. And to be honest, that kind of what you were talking about, Delete, that will be absolutely impossible for a free-to-play unless you're spending like 6 years in this game. Like, I don't see how it would.
Free-to-play already feel like it'll take them, you know, Mako was like, I've mapped it out, it's going to take me a year and a half to get to 5-star, you know, of like constant spending. But, you know, like the way that the game is set it up right now is by the time you get to 5-star, 10 stars will be out. You know, so it would be like, you know, you're asking people to invest all this time, and then by the time they catch to the end, they're just going to change the finish line. You know, that's crazy. You know, even in 125, if you're a 1-star in 125, it almost makes you feel like you are a level 26 HQ. You know, you're right there at that point where you're almost like, yeah, you're there, I see you, but you're not really there. You know?
Yeah. Nero, were you going to say something?
No, I just wanted to say that if D did go for that extra plasma, he'd be doing the streams from a cardboard box.
Right?
Wifey might kick you out of the house. Yeah.
I'd be back doing the streams in my car, and my whole family would be there, and I'd be whispering so I wouldn't wake anybody up.
Hey, Coach.
I think there is one part that I guess I want to make sure is maybe distinguished, at least in my mind, between like the gap versus like the free to play. Because that's why, and I know he's not on today, but that's why I kind of like talking to Mako, especially being kind of a veteran free to play. Because I think what's happening is that the free to play, there's a gap. There's always going to be a gap between the spenders and the non-spenders, right? And we know what that gap is. That gap is going to be your stats, maybe the highest plasma troops and all of that, right? But there's certain things you can fill that gap with and still allow that separation. So that's why I was saying, like, if you do some way where if they join the rally of somebody and you get a boost to your troops automatically, like their plasma 1s become plasma 3s, you're no longer relegated to being the clicker for timers the entire time, right? Your troops end up being useful. But where does that leave the separation? Well, he's never going to be able to lead a rally because his stats are always going to be lower, right? So you still need those spenders in order to set the rallies. If you're setting multiple rallies, you're going to need multiple spenders. But the people that are free to play that have been competitive, they're going to be behind, but at least they can join the rallies and be relevant, right? Mm-hmm. I think relevancy is the main thing. It's just that right now, you're like McVenom, you're relegated to button clicking in order to help with timers, right? But if your troops got a 2 plasma boost every time you join somebody's rally to max out to whatever their troops are, you're probably going to be useful, right? If you got Plasma 1 recently, right?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
So if yours became Plasma 3 when you joined a rally, you're now suddenly more useful.
You're talking about like
help.
the way that Clash of Clans does it or whatever, where you join a rally and you take on the stats of whoever the rally lead is.
Exactly.
But I'm trying to figure out why they wouldn't implement that. What, like playing devil's advocate, what would be the opposition for that? Would there be an opposition for it?
It just may be that they never considered programming it that way. Right? Sometimes you don't think of anything until you get, like, you can't think of an idea if the idea never came into your group, right? That's why you try to have outside opinions to try and get more ideas and brainstorm. I don't know if they ever thought about this. I can't really see what the downside is. You can force it through Alliance Tech, right? It's limited to certain things, right? Like the big events. So it's only limited if a rally is targeting a facility, a bunker, capital, tower. Like you can restrict it to particular things. You can leave the centers completely off of it. So you make that just based on what you have. So it's an even playing field based on whatever your alliance has. But for some of the bigger things, you can end up giving them those little advantages. And you do it through Alliance Tech. So your alliance has to be active in order to research it. Like you can put all these gates in order to make it so that it truly does require a dedicated alliance to do it. But those free-to-play players are no longer useless.
Somebody said, but then you could fill rallies with farms, no need for any other strong players. Well, yeah, because it's a game of alliances where you make friends and you want to participate with your alliance. So yes, you technically could, and some people still do fill half of their alliance with alts, but what's the point? Like, we're talking about if you want to play the game, to be playing the game as it's intended to have fun with your alliance. So, yeah.
I'll say at least that's trying to be a competitive free-to-play player. Being that does take a hell of a lot of time, right? Like and there's people here. I know Nikki is up at like odd hours during the weekdays, so she's seen me on literally waking up every 3 hours during the gather events in order to reset my troops. Freaking because I'm insane and that's the only way I can get points.
You guys, he is insane.
That's like the only way I can get points. So I'm like resetting my troops every 3.5 hours because that's how much it takes in order to empty a resource 8 node. With the 100% gathering boost, I'm like, I set an alarm for like 3.5 hours to reset all of my troops because I need those freaking points. Like, if you are trying to keep your your farming alts competitive and you have to be within 2 levels, like plasma levels, that's not going to be easy unless you're really dedicated on multiple accounts. And that's going to cause you burnout. And then if you're just spending on it, well, that's a win for SOS. Right? You're not spending on 2, 3, 4 accounts in order to create your own alliance. I don't see what the downside is. You're spending all this extra time. You get the advantage of being able to run your own rallies and do stuff if you want to. SOS makes money. I don't really see the downside.
Are you addressing Sean? Is that what you were addressing?
Yeah. If you're basically creating an alliance of your own farms, go for it. It's not that easy to do it with just free to play. Because you're gonna, unless you're not looking to get like really competitive. But I'm talking about if you're trying to be extremely competitive and you're trying to be like one of the top alliances, yeah, you're not going to be able to do it with your just pure farms.
Nightmare. Did you see Nightmare's like, this always seems to be a free to play versus pay to play stream? No, it doesn't. We do talk about that a lot, but it's not because this is what's called a freemium game. This is always going to be one of the main topics that you discuss in these types of games, and it's not usually a versus. It's a keeping the game healthy. Ours is more of a balance because we have a lot of heavy spenders in this group, so we like our spenders too. It's not about like versus. It's more so just keeping it healthy and balanced so that it's active. We see so many games die out after like a couple years, and we just don't want that to happen. So, Nightmare, you just hush.
Just keep singing over there.
But that's the thing, right? I don't think it's I think versus is the wrong word there.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make it so that free-to-play are not irrelevant. That's what's unfortunately happening as you get higher and higher, especially in the top alliances. Free-to-play are irrelevant. We've heard it from like some of the more competitive ones, like Mako. Like Mako probably has one of the best free-to-play rosters in SOS.
Yeah.
But despite that, he is relegated in events to clicking timer helps. And that's just because of the way this is set up. So there needs to be something to prevent irrelevancy. That's all we're saying. It's not like a versus. Because we need the pay to play.
Let's leave it on before we get into the SVS stuff. Let's talk about real quick. I'm trying to get in the habit of every time we do a criticism of things that we don't like, how would we change it? So Finn just had the teal, how we could change it as far as the rally joining. How many plasma how would they do better with the plasma stuff? As far as giving out, how many do you think would be equal, amounts that would rebalance it a bit to give out a day?
I think if they just revamped the rewards for events, it would make a big difference.
To give plasma out, you mean?
To give plasma out as opposed to random frags or timer speed ups. Out of every change we've seen in the game, the only change they haven't done is actually to the rewards for facilities and bunkers, or rewards for survival of the fittest, or anything along those lines of what they give out. There should be a revamp there, because then when you have someone that's maxed out, you can go ahead and be like, okay, I don't need anything from these bunkers and facilities. Now I can go ahead and cycle down to the rest of my alliance, to build up my number 2, my number 3, so on and so forth. So then the alliance grows with the top player. Right now it's all right, we're going to go ahead and get this. And besides hero gear that you get out of the one facility that everyone fights for, everything else is kind of meh, So Nickel and Maddie frags, you're giving out, hero frags for heroes that are kind of dead. That should be like Miho or Zoe frags, or even if you bump it up to even just Zach and Jared frags that you can exchange in the store, something. I think the amount of time that people spend in game needs to be rewarded. It needs to be rewarded handsomely, because those are the people that really build the foundation of your game. The free to play, the Makos, those are the people that play day to day. Those are the people that establish the connections and that make you kind of feel like, hey, you know what, Mako's not going to spend, but I've got a little extra side money I can probably toss into the game. He's kicking ass. Maybe I want to go ahead and compete with them. The competition part of it, that you want to go ahead and play with, and just kind of will maybe make someone a clicker onto that, putting that credit card in there would be, the difference. Instead right now it's the time that he puts in has kind of completely been relegated to absolute nothing. And I get it. When you're a free to play player, you shouldn't be super strong. But if you bust your ass, you should be able to get somewhere. You should be able to get somewhere. I'm not saying that you're going to have maxed out medals or gear or anything along those lines, but you should be able to kind of at least build yourself up to a level that can actually be playable. And right now, that is the biggest portion of the game that's broken, unfortunately.
Agreed. Nikki, what were you going to say? You raised your hand like a good girl. Did you see her?
No, so, the argument has been made about upping the rewards for survival of the fittest. And they have changed them a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's now an extra tier, or sometimes the last tier, depending what event it is, where you get some plasma or you get some tactical design. Of course, it should be more than 10. But the other issue is in regards to events like survival of the fittest, free-to-play players can't do well for events like that.
Not consistently.
When you have people that spend, and even when you're talking about just the daily rewards, the rewards for that stage, there have been sometimes that I can't reach that last tier because it's such a ridiculously high number of points that they want you to do something like upgrade heroes, and all of my epic heroes are maxed right now, so I can't continue to try and upgrade them. So I have to wait for some of my legendary heroes, and if I'm not spending on frags, which I rarely do, then what? Then I can't meet that, and I still can't get those rewards. So as nice as that would be, that still wouldn't really help. It might help the free-to-play a little bit, but not as much as it should.
Well, I was thinking, how we have Trap for gear. We have trap for our gear drops. What if they actually made an event similar that is an alliance event, not like a state event, but an alliance event like trap is, where we're working together, where it pays off, number one, the people that are committed and they're playing every day, but it gives rewards like plasma. So they're not having to dole out a whole lot of plasma to everybody because not everybody's going to do it, but they're rewarding the players that are active. Something, I don't know how they would do it. Like, I mean, and this is bad to have a suggestion, but not a how-to with it, but something similar to what Trap does for the Alliance, where if you're there, you're rewarded for it, and if you do well in it, you're rewarded for it by getting your gear maxed. Or not maxed, but, you know, higher. But something for plasma in the same sense, where it's not like they're just giving it to everybody every day, but they're actually rewarding people that are on the game daily, that are putting the work in, that are managing the alliances and stuff like that. I think that would be, you know, just like what Munchie just said, something like a Kamute style event like they did earlier, but do it, even if they did it on a weekly basis, I would still be, you know, like even if it was only weekly, but it's just something that if you're like really geared up for it and you prepare for it, you might actually get a big plasma drop, and that might be something that would kind of keep people hanging on. I don't know.
They have that.
I think, you know, I think just doing stuff like, you know, Alliance that had the most helps for the week, Alliance that farmed the most for the week, you know, most infected killed for the week, you know, something along those lines, more interstate kind of events, you know, where you could see the activity and you actually had a benefit for having more people play, you know, and that would be ideal, you know, because then it's like, you know, the game needs more. It doesn't need more plasma. It needs more events that people will latch onto, you know, because right now it's like, all right, Horde, all right, I'm just going to send my troops to HQ and I'm just going to log off and go back to work. You know, like no one's chasing around and being like, hey, here's the random, don't steal my points anymore. You know, like that doesn't happen anymore in 125. You know, it's just like, all right, my troops are in there. You know, everyone send 50K. I'll see you in an hour and a half, you know, and that's kind of it, you know. So there's got to be more stuff that people will kind of log in for, because right now it's like, all right, see you in 8 hours to see my dailies, you know.
Munchie had a good idea. She said change up Plague Zone rewards, which I think the Plague Zone rewards are pretty good or fair. Yeah. But our Nightmare said Trap event is great because it's over in half an hour regardless. But Horde on the other hand can lick my nuts.
I kind of like the thought of combining the Trap and the Plague Zone. So like have like different levels. So where you have to, as an alliance, defeat like the first couple tiles, and then you all have to rally one, and once you beat that, I don't know why I'm screaming, I'm sorry.
You're not. You're fine.
No, actually, you sound normal.
Down on the
you
computer.
sound normal when you're screaming.
I think, you know, some of that thick pizza that's coming back. Just on that.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to see
dairy.
that come back.
The dairy.
After you beat the one that you have to rally like Trap, you go on to a different level of tiles that like a Plague Zone, and then you have to beat another one. And you see how the higher you get, or the more you defeat, the more plasma you get.
Ooh,
that's pretty cool. Like
I kind of like that, because you're constantly chasing a higher goal. And Finn, you had said something about we already have that. What are you talking about?
Well, it's basically the same thing. The 20-man strike zone Plague Zones, right? We have the normal ones that have the 5, the Giganto Plague Zones. Those could literally be like Alliance Plague Zones reformatted to like a daily event that the Alliance can have whenever they get their Alliance on. They try to clear the Mega Plague Zone, and there can be different levels working in parallel. Because they already have the structure in place with Plague Zone, just create kind of a copy of it for Alliance stuff.
Right.
So,
someone had said to me a long time ago there should be more of a benefit to scouring the map. Like right now, looking through the map is torture. And there's absolutely no reason to
I don't
look
want
through
there to be a benefit. It's awful to look through the map. I hate going map searching.
But if you could find like a treasure chest or an abandoned trove of something, you know, to get more stuff, wouldn't it be worth it?
That actually might be funny.
The one other thing I'll mention is it's a little, maybe it's just me. You guys have been playing longer, so maybe this is just maybe my kind of little frustration about this. We talked about it last week. You get a bunch of frags and stuff from the maps that you no longer need, right? The blue characters, a lot of the purples now you don't need either, and they're just wasted. You don't get a lot of the legendary ones. There's no way of converting those, right? I really wish that there was a way that you just collected them and you could trade in like 3 of your character frags for a general frag, and then you could uprank them too, where you could trade in like 10 blues for a purple and then 10 purples for a legendary. Because I agree with all of you, and like Nikki was saying, like SVS is hard for a free to play, but you kind of need it if you need those like character frags. Like that's where I'm kind of stuck. Like the other events give me so many more biocaps, and I could get much better like non-frag rewards. But because I'm worried about the rank up of some of these characters and the heroes, I'm focused on SVS a little bit more because I want those Zoe frags. Like, otherwise I'm focusing on general frags, and I'll do the general frag events. But if there was a way I could trade in all the, because now I have like 4 general purple characters with like Chef and Mike, and it's just like every time I'm getting Sarge, Chef, and Mike, and it's like they're just disappearing. They're disappearing frags. I'm getting these rewards with nothing to do with it. They should just like bank up and allow you to upgrade them slowly. So it would require 30 and you can change kind of what it is. Like let's even make it 5 purple frags in order to get 1 regular general epic frag, and then 10 epics in order to make 1 general. That's 50 Sarge that I need in order to get 1 general frag. I don't think that's that a general legendary frag, and I don't think that's that bad of a conversion rate. Right? And if you're looking at Rusty and Ghost, you're looking at like 500 of them in order to do the same thing. So it's like, okay, if I'm going to trade in my 500 extra Rusty frags in order to get 1 legendary general frag, like what's, just let me at that point. I've collected 500 extra Rusty frags. Let me do something.
You know what's funny, Finn, is you're joining now as a player now, but we used to have the same discussion in the beginning of the streams. Remember, like our first 3 to 4, we actually, that was one of the things that we asked for, was an exchange market where we could exchange
my
stuff.
Jane is probably, if I could use all the frags that I've gotten over the 260 whatever days, and they increase the amount of frags that you needed for the levels the way that they did, my Jane would be level 8,000. I've gotten so many. She would be my strongest hero by like 1 billion.
I don't think I've ever used Jane ever.
No, she is the one character that is an absolute.
And they have that event for Jane that it's 5 days. That's the only time I ever used her, because from that event I had more frags and she was my highest hero for like a week.
I don't think I've ever used Jane.
I went all out for that event too. I still remember that was like my first event.
So you know, that's helpful.
I just want to do real quickly while Finn is pulling some questions, so we don't get too far behind on questions before we jump into the SBS. I wanted to shout out the people that have joined and do the code really quickly. What?
That's what I was going to remind you, that we could do the first code.
The first code is Spamina. So for those of you that don't know, you should know if you watch the stream, but Spamina is our word for stamina, because Finn said that it's in a spam can, so it should be called Spamina. So that's what the name is called. That's what the code's called. And nobody can tell me that the devs don't watch this, because they make these codes, and these codes are always about the stream. Always.
Oh wait, don't tell them what to
Being
do.
that they watch, I do want to say I do really like your game. I do really like it.
Yes.
I mean, it's not that I'm like down.
I mean,
on it
obviously,
all the time.
we're here every Friday night talking about it and playing the game. For how long have we played it now?
Well, I'm here for the community and you guys more than anything.
If we didn't care about the game, we wouldn't be here. That'd be worse.
Yeah, that would be so worse.
So I wanted to do a shout out to some of the people that jumped in after we had made our initial one. So Jeremy123, thanks. Nightmare, Nero125, and one of my kids just broke something. Did you guys hear that? It was a loud crash.
Sounded expensive.
Just turn my earbuds up. Pretend like it didn't happen. Spooky Lonely King.
Mako said Jane is good for explorer missions. I will not use a hero outside of Travis for explorer missions.
Sean,
F that. Give me that 20% reduction
Oh.
every single time,
Yep.
Jane.
Mike's my boy. Mike's my boy.
Yeah, but Mike is a shooty. Mike is a shooty.
Yeah.
Jane is a stabby.
All you guys.
Your stabby is
shush.
Travis.
Finn, shush. I'm trying to do the rest of the shout outs. Sean,
Mike's my
Ranger
boy.
J, 1999, or Loki. Apex Predator, I think we already went over him. Letty, Mako, thanks for popping in. I think Mako is on his lunch break. We appreciate that. Also have Munchie. Thanks, Munchie. I think that was about it. Oh, Sagittarius. She's from State 359. I told her if I ever see her in the stream, I was going to give her a shout out. Thanks for joining.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Sagu claimed it was her birthday to get free services out of me. I'm just throwing that out there. I haven't forgotten. Sagu.
Smart girl.
What kind?
Wingman. Yeah, I'm starting a wingman service. It's Affinity's SOS wingman services for any guy that wants to hit on a random female player. Finn is here to help. Just throwing.
That sounds pretty dark-sided and sketchy to me.
No, you can talk to Nat in BRS. She will vouch for me. She gave me a thumbs up and a gold star. I tried very hard with Chandru in 59. I tried very hard. It worked out really well, except he just wouldn't listen.
Instead of Tinder, it's Finder.
Oh my
It's Finder.
gosh.
And then if
Finder
you want to
Stratocaster.
register, onlyfins.com.
Also,
Finder Stratocaster over here.
Finn,
What?
Kothon 30. Do you know who that is?
I don't recognize him. He's been here. He said hi.
No,
I don't
I see, he said hi, Venom. I wonder who you are in game. He's got to be somebody we know in game, I'm sure.
I think
And
did he say he
Dustin?
was in 125 or anything?
Yeah, Dustin's from 359 as well. Thanks,
Hi,
guys, for
Dustin.
joining. We appreciate the 359 support. Okay, so let me get the code off. You guys redeem your code, Spamina, and I'm going to take it off because people have been sharing it in other chats and they use it all up before you guys can use it. So I'm taking it off, but I'll have another code later on.
Lonely, you said Jeb, Miho, and Ash. You know, just for Explorer missions, I actually use Mike. Mike is super strong. Miho, absolutely. And then I go back and forth between Ash and Nicola, depending on like who the monster is, you know, depending on their movements. You know, Nicola is actually pretty solid because by the time you set up 3 of the Tesla towers, he's starting to do a lot of damage, and then he basically pauses the monster. So in Kamite Town, it was Mike, Miho, and Ash. But like regular Explorer, it's Mike, Miho, and for like Abandoned, whatever, Mike, Miho, and Nicola.
Yeah. So for 359 though, due to Finn, I've been
Sorry,
now
Dan.
only use. You were taking forever with that last one. For 359, I only use Finn's. Don't give me the stink eye. Now I've lost it. Great, you just made me lose
The
it.
Travis.
Shoot.
You only use Travis. You use Travis for freaking
yes.
everything.
Yes,
Mhm.
but no,
If you're
but
free to
also
play, you get 5 for the price of 4. That's what you get.
No,
Once
I
again, with
wasn't gonna say
Travis, you
that.
get 5 for the price of 4.
no. I was gonna say for
20%
Explorer
discount.
message, guys. For Explorer missions, I use Sarge, Ghost, and all of those to try to get my EXP up.
No,
right?
you don't use. Oh my God, no, you don't use Ghost. You
Sarge.
use Sarge,
I meant
Travis,
Sarge.
and Rusty.
Sarge.
Yeah, but you don't use Ghost. You use Travis.
Did I say Ghost?
And then, yes, you did say
I meant
Ghost.
to say Rusty because Rusty's on my next list. I have
Okay,
Sarge and
okay.
then Rusty, and then I have Ghost and Travis as like my
I thought we were
easiest
going
to
to go back
level.
into the dark hole of like hero training area again.
Yeah.
And,
The
like,
hero training
equations that
area
start
is
popping in all over the
fascinating. I'm
place.
sorry,
Mhm.
it's very fascinating
It
to
is.
me right now. I'm enjoying it,
It
playing
is
around
actually
with
very strong. It's a very strong thing. If you listen to the way that Finn did it and he described it, it is absolutely the way that you should use it, point blank. There's no other way to use it
Nikki,
besides the
are
way
you
that
doing
Finn
it?
laid it out last time.
it. Did you get yours all sorted out?
The way that he wants me to.
Oh,
I have no way that I want you to do it. It is just a
Well-
recommendation.
So the thing is, I'm using my instructors, is that what they're called?
Mhm.
Are Sarge, Chef, and Maddie right now. So in Explorer missions, I use anybody but them, which I think for me, I mean Travis always, but I think for me it's Travis, Mike, and Rusty that I've been using.
Are they 80? Are your heroes 80? Your instructors?
No.
Oh. Why are you not using them then? You get free XP on them.
No. They're maxed for the level that they're out with XP.
Oh, so because they're not general
You
rank.
frag
Okay, so
them
you
up.
have non-generals as your instructor. Okay, so that's why. Okay.
Because
That's why you want generals as your instructors, because then you can 80 the lower ranks, but...
Yeah. Because I need an event for the frags.
Yeah. But that's why I was saying, so yeah, you just have to wait a little longer, but...
Finn, can you get to some of the questions real quick before we go into our little quick SVS discussion?
Sure. Let me bring up the question.
While he's bringing that up, it says, Dustin says, okay, so I was using all hunters for trap. I saw Awaken Firsto do that. Is that true that it's the meta right now?
Mm-hmm.
So
All hunters is working. I was kind of playing around with it. All hunter seems to work best. And then if you don't have enough for all hunters, you can throw in a little bit of the riders, but they don't really do as much right now, for what I can tell.
But the thing is, the reason that all hunters works is when you're using the right heroes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it doesn't necessarily boost them.
Mhm.
Sarge first.
Mhm.
For those of you that didn't hear that, Sarge
Mhm.
first.
those in the back. Hello. All right, Finn, question.
Okay, so questions. We only have 2 questions right now. By the way, if you guys have questions, just make sure you include the word question at the start of it, and then our bot will pick it up. That's how it picks it up. So feel free to ask any more questions. We have 2 questions from Nightmare.
No.
Don't.
Mm-hmm. It's coming. So the first question for Nikki: what strength of infected horde do you think Finn should run next?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh.
Finn, yes, Finn. 11.
They don't call me Max for nothing. Max is out.
Max.
Nikki almost killed me. Nikki
So-
killed me on several occasions. So
For
in that
streamers-
one trap or in that
for-
one horde, she almost killed me 8
So
times.
for viewers watching, we have a running Nikki, beautiful, sweet Nikki that you see here looks very sweet and calm and nice and innocent, and she is insanely terrifying in game. She gets so mad when things don't go as they should. Not saying she's not justifiably angry, but she gets really angry, and so sometimes we do that just to rile her up. And Finn and I in 359 have been starting hordes at level 11, which is at our level is virtually impossible to beat.
Nero got through 19. He didn't get through 3, but he got through 19.
But we just are not. We're
That was coming.
so we always pick level 11, and it really infuriates Nikki. So that was the question there. What was the second
It's
question?
the one that decides to start a plague zone during the middle of horde. And I thought I was being nice and helping out, so I joined the plague zone and I got burned at level 3.
Yes, because
Plasma
even though I
1
started a plague zone, I
burned
didn't
at 3.
expect him to leave every single troop out of his base.
I didn't know how many marches I had out. I lost count.
That's like delete. That's like delete joining trap with T1s. Because
And I
his
didn't,
troops
I didn't
aren't
even
yours.
beat the plague
T1,
zone.
full infantry.
Yeah, I know you left the plague zone. I don't know why you left.
No, I did the tile I was marching to for the plague zone. I didn't even beat it because I only have 30,000 troops.
Kippersnack question: Finn, can you use your GL Kylo in this game?
No,
Hey, Kippersnack. Thanks
not
for
yet.
the-
He's not in the game yet, but soon. We hope.
Soon we'll have a Kylo in the
And then I
game.
won't farm him, so it's fine. All right, and then Nightmare's other question for Nero. What is the earliest wave you have ever burned in Horde event?
3. 3.
I still say it is like
Burn.
I still have to say though, it's like the greatest story ever because here's the best part. Nero started the burn at HQ 30, burned and magically transformed into Plasma 1. It was the greatest Wave 3 burn in SOS history.
It's like he raged against the horde
He's
or
Super
something.
Saiyan in state of survival. That's basically the equivalent.
That was really funny.
He went Super Saiyan Plasma 1 because he burned in Wave 3.
So, it looks like The question from Dustin was, why can I not beat level 18 and 19 in Horde when I have a higher tier and more troops? It really depends on your level that you're setting, because so Hordes are just like traps. You can unlock a level and go on and move to the next one. Like a level 11 Horde, which is what we did the other day, like the 19 wave sends like 530k troops at you. Like that's, I think, the level 19. 18 is like 520, or no, wait a minute, what is 18? No, 18 is like close to 400k troops. So, I mean, if you have to kill, what is the percentage, Nikki? Do you remember what the percentage is that you have to?
50%.
You have to have 50%, straight up 50%. So that's a lot of troops. I mean, especially for the new state, and for the 11, they're really strong too. Do you guys know if there's like different strength levels though based on those troops, or is it just the amount changes?
No, there's different levels. Like when they're marching, you can go over there and do info, and you can see that they're like tier 10 or tier 9,
Gotcha.
like zombies and stuff. So you can see the details. I don't think they have it in the. That's the one thing I was just double checking. They don't have it in the report.
They don't.
But when they're marching, you can do the info and see exactly like how many troops are on their way to you.
Is it random, the strengths, or is it as they get higher, the strengths get higher?
No, they get higher as you get higher,
So,
both in difficulty that you said, and then
amount.
each wave gets more. Mhm.
So the amount gets higher, and the tier level of the horde, the zombie itself, gets higher.
Yep.
Yep. Question from Apex Predator: is there a time frame of when Kang will be available to get? I love all my heroes equally, but I love her much more equally. So there was actually a question about that placed to somebody, because and that's still up in the air, that I'm waiting on a response for, is that they say that it's out in hero searches, but I've done a ton of hero searches and it is not out. Like, and there was a bunch of people in the server that I'm in that has access have asked that same, they've all tested it and used tons of searches, and Kang is not out. So they are investigating that. So we'll get back to you when we know. And but right now it's kind of up in the air when Kang's out, because she's not really out. They say she is, but she's not. Yeah. All right.
And her skills look really solid. Like
Yeah.
as a rally joiner with Kang, she would actually probably be really solid.
Do you think she's going to be good for, like, as a trap lead? Did somebody say something
For a
about
joiner.
her? A joiner.
Trap lead for a joiner,
For the
but
joiner?
not for for the joiner.
But not for a rally.
That's what I
Not
meant,
for
for
rally
like
setter.
a joiner's lead, like their Sarge to replace Sarge.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll kind
She
of
has a
replace
lot
Sarge.
of damage in her first ability, and like all of her abilities are just pure. She is the glass cannon, which is perfect for trap, because you don't have to worry about
Defense,
infantry and protection.
Yeah. You don't have
So-
to worry about it.
Yeah.
She's-
So it's like a
she's-
mid-range player. When she comes out, that's who everyone should be as like a free-to-play. That's where all your blank frags, everything
Mhm.
that you get should go towards her, because you'll actually do more damage and help out more with her in your lineup as your
Hey.
captain.
Welcome, Durgan. Hello, Durgan. So,
Durgan is nice. Hi, Durgan.
question: now that Nero is P1, what level of fear should WDR have?
Really? Is this?
That was
oh
a
my
nightmare. We're not doing that, man.
I
Come
love
on.
WDR. You guys are great. You guys asked me to leave when I burn
Are
people.
you?
And I don't know. And I listened, and I apologize that I hit one of your active players when I thought they were inactive. I didn't know.
You didn't care.
Nero just did the heart. Nero
He did.
just did a heart.
He did.
The guy that's rage burning
That's how
everybody.
you know I mean it.
Oh yeah.
See?
True.
See, I'm not the only one that hits someone and apologizes, Venom.
Okay?
I agree,
Thank
but you're the only one that does it so heartfelt and truly from the bottom. I mean, just everything in you is apologizing.
And Nero
Yeah.
also doesn't want them to hit him
Hurts
back.
my soul.
Nero won't let him hit him back.
Nero
He has to be
doesn't
source
care
of
about
life.
them hitting him back. Nero just doesn't want them to suspect so that he can hit him again later.
Why you gotta say that out loud?
Whatever. Letty questioned, the trap is different in new states.
I don't think
Yeah,
the
I
trap
heard
is
something that there's like a new trap coming out where you can join multiple rallies.
What?
New stuff.
Yeah.
If they do that, then
Um,
rally setters are screwed, aren't they? Or are
It
they
would
able to
actually help
join
them,
as
because
well?
You could
Wait a
could set a rally with your strongest, and then your second tier troops, your second lineup could join somebody else's.
Well, that
So
would
then
be
you could
nice.
join multiple rallies. So as a rally setter, you would actually have an advantage.
Yeah.
Yes and no, because then the
So
joint.
that's apparently like a new thing that they're testing. And someone said it was in new states, but I don't think it was. I don't think it is.
Jeremy's saying it's in PTR, not in new states.
What were you gonna say, Nikki?
He said it would give the setters an advantage, but yes and no, because then the people who are joining would just be joining more than one also.
Yeah, it
So
just
it would-
evens it out.
Yeah.
You join the same number,
And it
basically.
would give them an advantage.
I mean, if I could join, but we would complete 30 and 125
Instead
if
of
I could
just-
join multiple rallies.
Well,
Yeah.
they'll probably scale it up. That's the thing, right? They're
Yeah.
not going to let you join multiple without scaling up.
But the difference, but it wouldn't. I know that the other people would be able to join multiples, but at least the setters wouldn't be restricted to only one per 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it would at least
Right.
be
Yeah,
somewhat.
but then you'd also have the selfish people send to 5 different rallies, and not everybody even gets to participate at that point. And I would blow my fucking brains out.
Well, that would be exactly what you would plan for, though, right?
Trying to keep
That's the
track of
thing.
that? Oh my god. Nikki would
But
be like,
that's-
boot him.
Could you
boot him.
imagine, Nikki?
No, but that's what you would want. Like that would actually be encouraged, right? You would probably want people sending 5 to 6 rallies or 5 to 6 marches, right? Everybody should be trying to get 6 marches out into 6 different rallies. You'd have to increase the number of setters. You're thinking about it based on how we're currently doing it, but you would increase the number of setters because you would have 6 times as many marches. Chances are Trap would have 6 times as much the hit points because you have that many more rallies now hitting it. So everything would scale. It would be annoying as hell because we only fit 9 people or 8 people around Trap.
Well, yeah,
And now you're gonna have like all these waves coming in at the same time. It's gonna be crazy.
It's going to look like all the white lines at Horde where you're just like,
Yeah.
you can't even click on anything because
Yep.
there's just white lines going across everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting theory. Very interesting theory, trying to test that out because it would change trap dynamics tremendously, but it would be pretty cool. But it would give a setter a chance because as a rally joiner, you can join multiple. You can literally fire them off and use like 2 teams to kind of go back and forth. If you're crafty enough to like boost yourself in the standings.
But you know what's gonna suck, right? Delete. You're probably still gonna be setting 5 times.
Yeah.
that's where it's ultimately gonna fall. Unless they restrict it to only 1 set per person, you are now gonna set 5 times, meaning you're still only gonna be able to do 1 every 5 versus a joiner that's just gonna be able to rotate a lot quicker.
I think it's set once and then you can join the other.
Okay. If it's something like that, that makes sense. Because otherwise, if you just make it, you can join as many rallies and you're able to set more than once, you're going to get screwed. Setters are still going to get screwed in that case. So yeah, if you're restricted to 1, and if you only can get like 2 additional joins, that means everything is going to be 3 times as much. So you can kind of deal with it. But yeah, with only 8 people being around Trap, it's going to be kind of difficult to handle.
I don't think light mode could even actually handle that if multiple people multiple alliances were doing trap at the same time.
Oh god.
65 rallies going off at the same time, it would just crash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang it! I had a list
What?
somewhere. I had a list somewhere of my SVS stuff, and it's gone. Like I have a whole notebook. I was trying to get organized, and it's gone. I don't know where to deal with it. Nikki, where's my notebook? So the next question was, Dustin said, where are you guys, what state are you guys in? So Delete, Nikki, Nero, and myself are in 125, state 125. And we've been, how old is that state?
It's like 280 days.
280
roughly.
days, yeah. And then we're also in 359 with Finn. And we're in the RSG Alliance. We're in Law on 125. So
I'm pretty close to being in the Farm Alliance of RSG
yeah,
by my participation.
you've been a
You
couple
are
days
not.
late, buddy. I will boot him.
You're just eating up a
I
space
will
around
boot
Trap.
him
but
just
other
for
than
the
that, you're
joy
not.
of
I know,
like
I
setting
need
a
to
rally
move.
on Delete. How awesome would that be?
But the last time I was going to move, someone moved into the spot I was going to move into.
Well, that was part of it, and then there was also the, you know what? I think I'm going to start coming to rallies a little bit more, and then your troops are in garrisons when we're in Trap. So yeah, it hasn't helped.
Yeah.
At some point we'll get Delete back. You know, Delete, I passed you, by the way. I'm on a build to HQ 30, and you're still at like 28 or just 29 right now. I'm just
For the first time ever, I am actually out of reserves. I'm out of metal. I can't do my hero precinct right now because I'm short on metal.
Durkin said, "Oh, she will boot. All right, I know all too well. I still have the boot print from my time in 125."
I mean, you did.
T. McVenom will boot Durkin. You, her friends too. Actually, I would boot.
You booted him out of the game. Like so much so, like you booted him out of the alliance, and you just continued and booted him out of the game.
You know what's funny? Everybody likes to say I'm like this cold-hearted person, but who do they call when they need some dirty work done?
Yeah, because you're cold-hearted.
Delete.
Who else would you call for dirty work?
Who do you message when you need a dirty work done? Same thing for you, Miss
Nikki.
My
2 beautiful women on this stream, my R4s.
Wait, how was that helping your comment about being cold-hearted? Like that's exactly the person that you would want doing dirty work.
It's just somebody that does what needs to be done. That's being assertive and just
that's called cold-hearted. Like I don't understand. You're not defending your point.
Is that called cold? It's not that I don't have a heart.
Yeah,
it's just
you're
that I don't use it as much
that's
in a
why.
game.
You are 100% cold-blooded when it comes to this game. That's exactly why they call on you.
Hey, every team needs an enforcer. We just happen to have
There's nothing wrong with it. She's like trying to fight it though.
I think it's a good thing to have in the game. I just
very valuable. Extremely valuable.
Moving on. I'm moving to the next question. I don't like this topic. All right, so now let's get to the SVS stuff. I don't know. There might be some more questions. We'll talk about them. Oh, welcome, Eric B. Haven't seen you in a bit, dude. And Invisinerd. Hey, dude.
Exactly, Invisinerd. Ice in her veins.
Ice in her veins. Well, you know, gotta do it.
Cold-blooded.
You know.
Stop. Now they're all gonna call me cold-blooded meanie.
But that's how you start. You literally said, some people will call me cold-blooded and cold-hearted, but delete, who do you call when you need dirty work? I'm like, how?
It's not dirty work. It's like the mean things. Delete's the good guy, and he likes the good guy role, and so...
I can't do anything else. I actually vented to Nikki, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm really angry about this. And it was just like, using cuss words and stuff, and I was like, this is just... Oh, so angry, and then it was over, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm being so angry and venting to you." That's a real life story. It's a real life story.
Sounds legit. Sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Abito said, really "Question: Is her shirt covered in cold blood?"
Mm-mm. It's still warm from her recent kills. Don't worry.
Okay.
Aww.
So. We're going to go over to SVS now, discussing SVS. See, you guys got me all flustered now. I feel bad, so I can't talk. SVS support roles. So what we wanted to talk about was things that, what you can do as a smaller alliance in SVS. So we are actually in 359, and we are a smaller alliance. We're rank, Nero probably knows our rank right off the top of his head.
We're 18 right now.
We're 18. So we're a support alliance.
Oh, we moved up to 17. We got to 17.
Yay.
I think it's the Plasma 1 stuff that helped. Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into, I was going to show some of the screen and like some of the things that we do in there, but then I'm like, we're in SVS. I'm not going to blow our map and like, I don't want to mess up any kind of plans that we have going on. Yeah, I don't want to be that girl that...
You don't have to show the map, but anybody that's going into play, you can just go to 359 and go to Capital and just see all of the...
I might do that so we can see the boxes and stuff.
They can just see the settlements.
All right, so Finn, you talk about it real quick while I'm pulling up 5K. I forgot to pull up 5K viewer.
Sure. So we talked about this before. There's unfortunately an advantage to losing the prep stage, because you get the home field advantage. And because there is a delay between when the invading state, which is the winner of prep, comes into your state, the loser of prep state has more time to prepare. So in 359, as I think every state kind of does when they lose prep, you basically have your alliances create a giant donut around Capital. Because what effectively that does is make it so that you have long marches to get to the towers, or you have to try to break through the walls, and that's just a waste of resources, right? So you're just trying to make it so that with 8-minute marches or whatever the hell it's going to end up being, they're not going to have enough time to time reinforcements on towers, time reinforcements for capital. And usually the top alliances are going to be somewhat close enough that that difference is going to be huge because they're going to be able to beat it. So with SVS, the general idea though that's at the higher level, those that have troops that are going to be able to compete. So what you're going to want to try and do is actually as a mid-level or a lower alliance player, right? You're not going to really be able to fight up against those that have like plasma troops if you're still at like HQ 26 or something like that. So the general idea is you're going into your capital clash and you're looking at the points that you need in order to try and max that out. So that's going to be the first thing. Yeah, go ahead, Nero.
Can we just admire Venom's Disney Channel headshot?
No, so if I remember correctly, that is actually her roller derby headshot, if I recall correctly. I believe that is from her roller derby days. Yeah.
I have cyberstalked McVenom, and that is it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's So and you wonder why we called her cold-blooded. You know she was the enforcer on the roller derby. But okay, she's gonna get upset with getting derailed. Okay.
I gotta ask her if she still has that jacket.
All right. So
I do have the jacket. Thank you very much.
There she is. All right. So
I had to go get my charger real quick, and I had to take my screen off because I'm wearing pajama pants, and I didn't want anybody to see that. So.
Okay. So the general idea then is in SVS, if you're a mid or a lower level alliance, your goal is to make sure that all of your members are getting the maximum tiered rewards. You're going to have a hard time doing anything like too competitive with the actual state versus state, but you go into your capital clash and your events billboard, you'll see the number of points that you need. That's going to vary based on the strength of your base, right? So a higher HQ is going to require more points than a lower HQ. And your goal is to basically do attacks, get either kills and wounded on your opponent, or even your own troops getting hurt gives you points. And you just try to get up to the max level. Now, there's different ways to go about actually doing this. So I'll let Nikki and Nero maybe talk a little bit about some strategies that you can use in order to actually get those points. So I don't know, Nikki or Nero, who wants to kind of give some suggestions?
What I've seen a lot of people do is when they attack like a tower or the center, they get a ton of wounded, right? And then they just set all those troops to heal. Depending on how many people are online in your alliance, set like 10, 20, 30 minutes and have everybody click for like a good 5-10 minutes, get everyone healed up enough, set another rally. So that'll maximize how many rallies you can set without your hospital filling up and or losing troops.
Yeah, definitely. Batch healing is very important, and there's still a lot of people in this game that don't even know about it.
Right.
You know, if you have your timer help duration research max for your alliance, and I know it's different in newer states, I don't think you even have to research that, but in older states, if you have that alliance tech max, every timer help is about 4 minutes. So just do the math. If you have 20 people online, you know, I can't do math that quickly, but you know how long you can set for to get it done basically instantly. Don't look at me like I'm
supposed to be the smart one in this relationship.
Okay, I am, but
math is different. No, I feel you, Nikki. I can't math either. I usually just yell at Finn to math for me. Like
time math is tough.
But anyway,
I just like the fact that Nero's like, you're supposed to be the smart one, and she's like, yeah, I am, but
I am. We all know this.
I went through 1 year of college. Now I'm a construction worker. Like, come on.
But no, it's batch healing is super important. So for anybody that doesn't know about it, definitely try it out. Even if you're only doing a half an hour at a time, you know, because when you're not batch healing, depending on the size of your hospital, 3 rallies and you're done. And then you think you need to heal for the next 3 days straight.
Right.
And when they say batch healing, they're talking about right here.
Yeah,
you're doing.
So always click the heal button.
So, and when I just want to clarify, when they say batch healing, they're talking about doing just enough healing. I don't have any troops in the hospital right now, but if you had some, you would put just enough for whatever your alliance heal speed is. So if you have a lot online with a lot clicking, you can do an hour, sometimes up to an hour at a time, and then get it down fairly quickly. But if you only have a few, you might have to cut it down to like 20 or 30 minutes. But you're doing them in just enough so that the heal time shows 30 minutes versus an hour or whatever. That's called batch healing. I've seen a lot of people in Stake 359 go, what are you talking about batch healing? That's like key for SVS.
Right. And sometimes you can set, if you have it like down packed, you can get like a half hour worth of healing down in literally 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. If you're quick with it. I'm not that quick. My fingers are too fat. Like, I can't get my stuff. I wish they would give you presets. Oh my gosh. Talk about a quality of life update. If they would give you presets for your healing.
Batch healing presets?
Yes.
The problem is your troops are never the same.
No, but also, like setting for like 30 minutes.
Batch healing. They didn't like batch healing to begin with. Let alone making it easier
because they want you to spend on the healing, so yeah.
Yeah, well, boo-hoo.
I think
that's a loophole that people figured out, and then they tried to mess it up, and then everybody blew up their Discord.
So I usually, what I do is, depending on how many people are on, I do 2,222 troops, because that roughly comes out to about an hour of when we're like clicking in 125, an hour of troop healing will kind of go by pretty quick during capital. So I do 22222 so I can type it in easily and I bang it out that way. I'm supposed to try to like do the slide and like get that right, because depending on how much you have, it'll take you forever and you'll just lose time. So 22222, and if you're in a smaller alliance or you don't have that many people on, 11111, to go ahead and like bang that out, because that is tremendous. And the biggest thing that we get for like middle players of SVS is they want to do a suicide run for points. Depending on who the opponent is in that tower or in the capital or wherever you're going to, you will suffer a tremendous amount of damage. So like doing the suicide run, even though it will get you points, get you your minimum points, it will hurt you in the long run. It's better off for you to kind of wait until the rally is like, okay, we're in between, or like, let me go ahead and set for this. It's better for you to just kind of hop in one or two at a time than to do one big, large suicide run. Unless you're trying to map it out where it's like, we'll do one right before yours lands to kind of get points that way. That's probably the best way to do it. But typically whenever I've seen it, if you need 2 rallies to take something, it's going to basically hurt you in the long run, to the point where it's like, yeah, that's not really going to work. Because if you need two to take it and only takes 1 to give it back, you can't survive that way. So you have to kind of do it smart. So if you're going to do a suicide rally, try and time it to right before, your big rally hits. If you have so many people on and they want to play and they're like, I'm about to hop off, but I need some points, that's one way to do it. But like, you should kind of like make sure that you're attacking the right opponents. And we're trying to, I think eventually in 125, we're going to get to the point where like the 3 main alliances hold a tower and the 4th one's kind of being battled for. That's what you should kind of hold off for. You know what I mean? You're supposed to just being like, oh, I'm just going to suicide my troops because that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to click heal, like do it smart. If you're going to play it, do it smart, because you'll end up hurt. And batch healing is fun, but not really.
No.
Nikki?
So I want to add to what he's talking about. He's talking about, if it's like, okay, I'm signing off, I need points real quick, whatever, that's a different situation. But what we're coming across, and what I'm sure a lot of the older states come across when it comes to capital, whether it's SES or not, is the free to play or the smaller players feeling like they're not useful and feeling like they can't join rallies, and then they therefore can't get points. I don't necessarily mean this about our alliance, but I do, and I'm sure other people deal with it too. Number 1 is stop complaining about it, because not only is it super annoying for everybody in the conversation, but it's not going to get anywhere. What needs to happen is, if we need a strong rally to go against a strong opponent, then that's what we're going to do. But there's no reason that you can't then go in the tower and be in there as reinforcements after the fact. And there's how many smaller rallies, how many people that still do suicide rallies or suicide attacks that you're still getting points from. I mean, not like I'm a bigger player, but I'm a little bigger than some of the others. So I have no problem being in a rally, getting in the tower, and then pulling out for somebody who's still in HQ 30 to be in the tower. But don't complain that you couldn't get in a rally when we specifically need the 2, 3, 4, 5-star players in that rally, because all it's doing is frustrating people. And then the important things in the chat, the important conversations about your ratios or who we need in the rally or whatever it is, it's all disappearing because we have people that are like, well, I guess I'm just going to go back to Hive because I'm useless. Sorry.
Yeah, or here's a better thing. Instead of complaining, ask, what can we do for points? Instead of complaining, say, or do you guys mind if I set a rally on this tower maybe 2 minutes or to land right before yours? So I'm whittling down your hit and I'm getting points for the rest of us that can't join this bigger rally, because we need your rally to be stronger. Delete, what is your time? What time is the time that I need to set this so that my march will get there? And I'll set a rally, even though mine is not going to do shit. Mine at least is getting points in. Yeah, mine is not getting points, or mine's getting points from me and the lower levels, and I'm at least maybe taking a little bit of those troops away that you're about to hit and helping out in some way. So instead of complaining about it,
heal your troops quick enough.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta be smart, because it's like if you suicide your troops and then you're not gonna be around, like you might be able to join a rally later on. Even if we're going strong only, it's rare that strong only is always on. There's always going to be a time where, like, okay, one of our strong players isn't on. You've just been promoted. Like, you want to be there, or like you said, I would be so proud if one of our B team players was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just launch, and I would and like figure out, okay, we're gonna do one right before you hit, boom, let's do it. I've instant R4 if you actually took it upon yourself to go ahead and figure that out and do it, and wrangle in players that are like barely on to go ahead and do that, so they get points, they get stronger, and then we actually get helped out. That'd be huge, because then I know they're going to stay on and help heal, guaranteed, because they're going to be like, I'm not leaving 80,000 in my hospital. I'm going to stay on until all this is gone, and that all helps.
Letty said, we do one more rally for the small players because they will have troops in the hospital and they will click. They're going to keep clicking the hospital because they have troops in too. Very clever.
Yeah.
There is the other thing, and we came across this in 359 last time, right? Which is we won prep stage, so we had to teleport over there. But sometimes in like the middle to lower level alliances, they're there not because there aren't people that are active, but it's because the whole alliance isn't active, or a large part of them, and so they don't have the general BP. But you have those that are active, right? Don't be afraid to ask some of the other higher alliances, like if they're having like small groups, because this is what happened to us last time. Like we had a small RSG group, but we had people from some other alliances that were like, can we just tag along and do some rallies with you so we can get your points? And we're like, yeah, right? So now even though your alliance as a whole may be a little bit less, you join some others that have those better rallies and you can get more points that way. So you're not just suiciding, even though you probably still is a suicide, but you're going to get more kills out of it because you're now joining a stronger rally as a result. So it's not necessarily like anything crazy. It's just, you're just going to temporarily leave your alliance to get your points and then come back, right? Because if your alliance doesn't have enough to do these like bigger rallies, create the bigger rallies. So there's more than one way to go about it, and that's another option for everyone.
We actually had in 359 in the last SVS, we actually had a smaller group that said, hey, we still need to get points, can we jump in RSG? And we're like, sure, yeah, because then that's more bodies filling our rallies, and it's just helping a guy out, like let him get to help. We're still working on points, so we're working on it. The big thing I noticed too, did you guys already go over the rewards and stuff and how, and making sure that you get your boxes and your
I went through it in high level. We didn't actually show it. I was waiting for you to get your screen up, so it'd be a little bit easier.
Gotcha.
I mentioned going to the events billboard and going into Capital Clash and seeing the rewards and how many points you needed from there.
Yep, here we go. So yeah, so these are the points. So like as Finn said, you want to go into your Capital Clash and the billboard up to the top right. Go into the Capital Clash, and that's where you can see the rewards. And then there's the ranking rewards and stuff like that, and the leaderboards and stuff. But if you look at your points, that's going to tell you how many you need to reach during the event, like to get your points in state versus state at the capital. And this is for all capitals, to be honest. This is like, any kind of time that you do Capital Clash, but it's the same thing for SVS. So that's where you go to get that. And the badges, I mean, I'm sure you guys all know, I don't need to tell you the badges and the, what are these things called? What is this stuff called right here?
The berets. I call them the berets.
The berets. That's what I should call them. The berets and the badges. Those are so important. So those are really important, and that's where you go to get that. As far as support roles, I don't want to...
Really quick, I just want to point out one thing before you move on.
Yeah.
So McVenom is maybe a higher level HQ than you. Again, just as a reminder, the points that you need in capital scales with how your settlement is. So as you get higher troops and your HQ goes up, the points that you need also goes up, but you also get a few more, you obviously get more kills and woundeds and stuff, so it kind of adapts for it. So make sure that you look at your point total. Don't just go by like kind of what McVenom has on her screen, because that's for her. So it's important that you look at your particular point totals and see what you need in order to get to that last tier, so you get every single reward that you can, short of actually taking over a tower or taking over capital.
Yeah. Yeah, so as far as, we haven't discussed, I don't know what I missed when you guys were gone. So as far as that's what you need to do to get your points. But as far as helping out the state, have we discussed ways that the support alliances can help out the state? Not yet, right? Y'all didn't go.
No, we haven't gone through like the specifics of that.
Do you think I'm safe to show our capital? I don't want to give anything away.
You can show I mean, everyone can go to 359 and look. So if you're just going onto the map, that's fine.
Okay, but I don't want anybody to like. I'm so paranoid. I don't want to give anything away.
What is paranoid? It is literally public to anybody that has the game.
Got it. Okay.
We have said we are in state 359.
No, RSG's not going to win. I just don't want to mess anybody else's game up, Like, I don't care about
It's not
us.
that hard to figure this one out. We already talked about it. You create a donut around it. We've already talked about that as the basic and the benefits of losing prep stage.
Yeah.
But
who is 359 facing in SVS?
356.
Ooh, older.
And they're talkers too.
Yeah, I know. They're so much older. I mean, they're like decrepit old.
And they're like some trash talkers too, so it's interesting. So there's one way that you can help, and we noticed that a last SVS that we ported over, it was Finn, Nero, Nikki, all of us. We were just trying to figure out ways that we could help in SVS. We were not anywhere near. I think we were like 25 castles. Maybe 26. Nero, you might be 26. We were still really low, and these guys
it was like a 7-minute march or something, I think, for us.
Yeah, we were like
from Nero's to the tower. It was like something ridiculous.
Yeah, we were like way over here somewhere on the outskirts, and we just decided to port as a group. And what we did was, even though we could not do a whole lot, we had already got our badges and stuff like that, but we couldn't do a whole lot. So what we did was just annoy the living crap out of all the smaller people here that were like maybe setting, all the ones that were setting rallies and trying to work with towers and stuff like that. Nero was taunting them. Nikki was taunting them. We were doing a lot of stuff. We played. Wait a minute, look at there. There's a Venom right there. Where did you come from? Interesting. But what we're trying to tell everybody to do is you can everybody knows where 359 Capital is, Sean. Jeez.
Yeah. It's in the middle.
Words in the state chat like 15 times.
Oh yeah, sorry. We are in state 358. So to understand our strategy, please go view state 358. Once again, that is 358. Okay, there we go. We're covered now, McBeth. We're good.
Now we're safe.
Yeah. So anyway, what we did set some rallies. We had, most of us were bubbled, a couple of us weren't. we reinforced each other, and we're just kind of taunting and playing, setting rallies, setting fake rallies, and then what?
That was great. We we would have someone taunt like 5 different people.
Zoltan,
and then
yep.
We'd reinforce them like crazy,
Yeah.
and then they would just back and lose.
Yeah,
Like,
and we got a lot of points and a lot of kills that way. Honestly, like from our castle. Yeah, from our castle level. My gosh, why does my camera keep doing this?
Yeah, I don't know why I blurred up. There you go.
Oh my gosh, is somebody seriously scouting me right now?
Is someone reconning you?
Yeah.
From just defending. Like, we didn't even really...
Who the hell is reconning you?
I don't know, but you're not going to see, buddy.
Oh, it's one of us. It's Flash. He's in the...
Oh, okay.
It's LGC Flash. He was actually in state chat telling people to watch the RSG stream, and he's reconning.
So, anywho, this is what we did. So...
Hilarious.
We were doing a lot of reinforcement. So everybody was like, how are you guys like going against these castles? We weren't really. It's not like we were straight out attacking, and it's not like we were really setting rallies on these bigger castles. We're not stupid, but we do know how to play smart. Like, we know how to bubble and we know how to port. So if we were reinforcing each other, and so a big castle would set let's say a 30 set a rally on one of us at 26, we rained each other, and we have our, we have good rain capacity, so we rained each other with good hero gear in there, because if you put even one troop from another person that has high hero gear, you take their stats. So we're raining each other, and then sometimes we would let it go through. Sometimes we were like, I can't take this one. We bubble, or we port right next to each other. Like, just, that's all you have to do. If a rally's coming at you, just move over. It's so, everybody starts freaking out and getting really scared when they get rally set on for these big guys, and they're like, no, I have to go back home, I can't handle it here. It's not really that scary. Just, you can hide your troops, and we had a couple of us bubbled around so that we did have a place to hide our troops if we needed to. But Nero, I think you got a lot of kills. I got a lot of kills. Nikki, did they ever eventually attack you? Yeah, you got a bunch. But we got all of our kill boxes and we got everything from just that little section of the corner, just being a support role and annoying the hell out of the players that were trying to attack the towers. So that's how we were being a support role, and it's not so much that we were able to attack the big guys, because it's always going to be your top 5 alliances that are really holding towers and battling for CC. But you can annoy them and their support teams, and you can set fake rallies. You can just hit the smaller guys. If we have access to their hive, you can actually port over and start attacking their farm alliances if you do your research and figure out who those are, because they will eventually get upset and try to go back and defend them. Go ahead, Nira.
They hate that.
They hate it.
You start attacking their farms, they'll port right over.
Yeah. Nero was really, they really will. Like, you do a little bit of research and find out who these big guys, who their farm alliances are.
Especially if you post their chords of the farm in state chat, so that they see it as you're hitting them.
You're such an instigator.
I'm sorry.
Well, and
that's what you have to do in
this
SVS.
Is where I love Nero's game style, especially in SVS, because in our state we have to kind of be, not that we're the nice guys, but we don't want to be the dicks. But in SVS, you can be the dick. You can be that because it's not your state, so you can be a little bit more aggressive and kind of a Daedric style play if you want to in SVS, because that's what it is. It's an enemy war. So we actually enjoy playing that kind of way. I usually do not. I think we had talked about it with our state. They're talking about making naps and stuff, and Nero, Nikki, and I were just like, no, why are we going to do a nap? Like, why would we do that? I don't like making agreements that I'm going to know that I know I might break, because.
No, and SVS is the one time that you can be 100% ruthless and not have any consequences afterwards, because you have nothing to do with that state afterwards. So you do whatever the hell you want.
Just wait till state mergers and we get stuck with somebody we went up against.
God. No, our state is going to be fine. We have an active state. I'm just gonna throw that out.
No,
but
restoration.
The other thing too is
I'm not talking about Daedric styles and attacking your own state during SVS. Let's not get trolling.
And if you ever,
there is the other part too, right? Which
Nero, go ahead.
Go ahead, Nero.
If you ever want to find the main alliance's farms, it's always the alliance but lowercase.
Yeah.
or with a 1 on it or something, or a 2.
Real original, guys.
So, wait, isn't that what you guys have too? Aren't you guys Little Law?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, there's 2 things that can happen, right? We're talking right now about the strategy about us having lost the prep stage, so we kind of get home field advantage with capital. So as a lower ranking alliance, right, you may be able to launch rallies from your current hive to all the other stuff if you don't really feel like porting into the capital and getting into the fray of things, right? So keep in mind, you will lose your bubble if you do that, right? So you do want to be careful about that. But the other thing is you can also protect yourself a little bit more. If you haven't already, make sure you use your towers. The same way that we're trying to, like at the higher levels, trying to protect the capital by creating a donut of settlements in order to make it so that the marches are longer, you can do the same thing with your towers. Because the other part of this is if your state won SVS, you are now porting over to the other state. And you get there initially with a random transport or a relocator, right? And you can end up anywhere. You may end up in somebody else's territory, but otherwise you are looking for empty spots or you're looking for those gray areas in order to teleport. And that's how you are going to end up finding your targets to hit potentially if you are a lower or a mid-level alliance trying to get your points after Capital Clash. Because don't forget, the event lasts for the state warfare is 2 days, right? And the Capital Clash is going to be like 8 hours starting tomorrow for everyone, right? So afterwards, you're going to be looking for kills by hitting settlements and all other kinds of things. So at that point, your defenses as a mid and low level alliance is also going to be important. So making sure people are bubbling if they're not going to be on, setting up towers as a perimeter so no one can really rally from being close, right? Those are things that can protect you. And if you are in the losing prep stage alliance, you have an advantage in that you can rally from your hive. But if you're going to someplace else, make sure that you guys are all active and talking in your alliance. Because the worst thing that can happen is a bunch of you port over there, you attack something, and only half of you leave, and the other half now gets murdered because your cords are being posted in the state chat as being attackers, and now a big guy is coming to attack you and just wipe you out.
Well,
so make sure you guys are coordinated.
Yeah, you have to be very, you have to, if you're going to be a support role where you go to the castle, or like castle, to the capital, you better have an alliance that is fully aware of how to defend themselves or hide their troops or bubble. Like if they don't know how to do that, then you might not be an alliance. You might be what we call a Farmville type alliance. Like you guys are you're farming more than fighting. And if that's the case, and I don't mean to be insulting, but you know what I mean. If you don't know how to defend yourself,
that's a way to play this game, but you have to be careful.
It is, and a lot of people enjoy doing it that way. That's great. But if you really want to be a fighting alliance and go up to the capital, then you need to have your base needs to be aware of the possibilities that they're going to get wrecked if somebody jumps in. And Finn is really good at strategizing our tower placement to where we are just like, we have this huge buffer zone with plenty of time. So you really need to get really good, especially in the new states. We don't do this in the old states, but you do it in the new states where you really set up your tower defense system.
Yeah, you compensate for lower headquarters, right, with bigger territory as a buffer. That's a general rule of thumb, especially with the newer states. Even outside of SVS, it's a good idea to build that way. The lower your alliance is, in order to give yourself more security, the bigger your hive should be. Because if you're smaller, you're going to need the troops in order to defend yourself in case you're getting attacked. If you're lower, you need the space. You need the ability to kind of not have anybody deter them with having, again, same thing we're doing with Capital, 8-minute marches, 9-minute marches. Like, it just becomes a pain in the butt to send a march that long to attack someone unless you're really loaded with res. And that's something that you need to be cautious about as well.
So I have a question.
I do remember a time in 359 when we sent a 27-minute march and it landed and we won.
Yeah,
we were in Capital.
You were in Capital for like what, a minute, 30 seconds.
We have
that in the RSG memories.
We've held Capital twice. We've held Capital twice.
Yeah.
Maz took Capital once too.
Oh.
Maz was, and that's also in our RSG memories. So Delete and Maz have held capital in 359.
We were ranked 25 at the time, probably, right?
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
So
that was so awesome.
I have a question. I saw that that you can have they give you a 24-hour shield at the beginning of SVS. Is that still right? Do they give you one? No.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Think so.
I
Because
didn't
then when you
think so
poured
either,
over,
but I'm
you'd
like,
have no one to attack.
I didn't think so either, but then I'm like, I better not show you guys my whole screen here. Yeah, right. You're gonna see everything, but I saw somewhere where somebody had typed in like SVS notes for the states that you get a 24-hour shield, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember that, so I'm gonna need to clarify that. But I don't remember that ever happening.
They said they did it last time. I don't recall the shield being there, but maybe it's because we went and attacked kind of quickly. So
They did last SVS.
When you pour to the other state.
Oh.
okay,
Ew.
that makes more sense. That makes more
as
sense.
a
It's
winner,
much-
you get a 24-hour shield then, or is it just
Only when you
whoever
port
when
over.
you ports over?
Yeah,
back
yeah,
and
yeah.
forth?
That I remember now because when I first ported over, I was in a bubble for a little bit.
Good. Okay.
But that
But that could be a trap too, because if you like port over and you have a shield and then you break your shield to attack someone, you've got the cooldown to deal with. So you can't just like attack someone really quick and put a shield back on.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
that
if the cooldown
sucks.
was actually part of that one too. I just don't remember now if we actually had a cooldown as part of breaking that particular shield or if it was special. But yeah, pretty much if you're porting over there, you're not expecting a shield. You're moving around to attack, right? You're not going over there looking for the shield. So it only gives you enough time to kind of group whoever you're porting together. Because like I said, you start off with a random port, then you have to advance relocate into your particular spot, which you do get some free ones, right? Just to, I guess we can go over that. You get, I think, 3 as the winner and 2 as the losing state, right? Or is it 3 for both? I can't remember. But you get some advanced relocators free as part of SVS. So when you go from state to state, you'll get some free, and you can use those kind of accordingly as you wish. So make sure you use those wisely. There is a cooldown between teleporting between states. So if you go and you come back, I think it's 30 minutes also. 30 minutes before you can port back over to the other state. So make sure you guys do coordinate any movements that you have going back and forth between states as well. Something else to keep in mind. So
I have yet to hear from someone that has been like, yeah, I've completely taken advantage of the prep stage win to port over and destroy the other like state, and been like, that was the key for us, beating up all these like random bases that haven't ported. Yeah, like I have yet to be like hear anyone that's been like, yeah, everyone's kind of ported over and been like, all right, well, we're here, what are we gonna do? I've seen people being bitter and being like, we just lost, so now I'm just going to port over and burn farms for no apparent reason.
Well, it sucks that they changed the res thing. Nero was talking about that the other day, about the res being 3 levels. You can't get anything.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like that change. I understand the points. You don't want people randomly just burning small castles everywhere for points, but like, I think we should be able to take res.
I kind of get it, because the first state for state we had in 125, it was like 4 alliances around like a 22 HQ that just had billions of resources, and like everyone was demolishing that.
I mean, if you're holding that many resources without a bubble.
I know, but still, that's probably why. And we don't know if it was a farm or someone's main account, but that's probably why they made it so that you can't get resources more than.
We had to learn that the hard knocks way, I think.
Yeah.
I do like that. I mean, it would kind of suck having somebody much higher than you just come and destroy you if you had because they're not going to follow the rules that you're set with your state, right? Like, we have rules in our state. I'm sure every state has their own. We're not abiding by the rules of 356 when we're heading over there, right? It's just whatever happens goes. It is literally 2 days of the purge. That is the way I see Kill Event. It is the way I see SVS. It is 2 days of the freaking purge. You go around, you kill things, no remorse, then it's done. And you just forget anything happens and you move on. Like, that is exactly what is happening. So you don't really have to worry so much. So I can say I kind of do like it, and it also makes it so that if you're always attacking someone a lot lower as an attacker, like as an attacker, you're going to lose troops anyways. But if you're attacking somebody a lot lower, you're only losing like a couple of troops. So you're just getting a lot of extra points. Versus if you're attacking somebody close to you, you're taking a little bit extra on that losses. And it makes it so you can't just take advantage over and over again. It does provide a little bit more balance to make it so you have to hit somebody somewhat close. And 3 HQ is still a good bit, but it's enough to make it so that it does hurt a little bit if you go a little bit excessive and you're not careful.
Yeah, I mean, because you only get the talent where it's like any losses you suffer, you know, you get like, I think is it 30% back, 20% back? I forget, but there is a talent that like if you activate it, you get the half hour where if you just go absolutely berserk, you don't lose everything of your troops' losses. So that's pretty solid. So you can at least you know utilize that to kind of go bananas on someone. That's never been my thing, you know. It's like that's a Daedric thing. And oh, by the way, Daedric, you are beloved and missed on your stream on the stream, man.
We do miss Daedric.
No, you missed Daedric. What I don't understand is why there's an upper limit. Like if a lower level person wants to attack somebody much higher, why can't you steal that person's res?
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like, why do you have a limit of like if I wanted to go crazy and attack delete while he has all his marches out, I would still lose horribly, but it should be my right to attack him if I get points and get lucky.
I don't understand the upper limit. The lower limit makes sense, like you can't attack somebody lower, like below 3 levels below you and get the points, but there shouldn't be an upper limit. Like if you are that courageous that you're gonna attack somebody 3 levels higher than you, like go for it. You get the points. You get the points, you get the res, go for it.
I remember that actually. I remember I was still in Wall and I was attacking Triple X, which is still an active alliance. It's actually, I think, oh yeah, no. Yeah, well anyway, I was attacking Triple X and I had 5 marches out at the time. I had my max marches out and I'm burning, like I burned like 23 settlements in one shot. And one level like 22 HQ came at me and it burned me because I had every troop I had out. And I was like, dude, take a screenshot. You don't even have to bubble. I am not attacking you because I give you mad props for coming at me like that. And he responded in Russian. He was like, F you kind of thing. Hilarious.
Das Vidanya,
and like,
F you.
Everyone in Wall was like, dude, you're on fire. And I was like, at that point, I didn't even know what to do. Like, repair my barricade, extinguish the fire. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God, this is funny. So, yeah. The old days.
Reminds me of that dodgeball. I've never seen my own blood. I've never seen myself on fire before.
You made me bleed my own blood.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
That's it. Oh my gosh. Okay. What are some of the, like, that's really, I think everybody is asking, what are all these great secret tips for SVS support roles and stuff like that? Really, as a support role alliance, that's all you got to do. Like,
unless you're coordinating with your state, right?
Yeah, if you're the coordinator for your state, of course, you're going to have maps and you're going to be assigning spots and where you're going to put your alt line up and all of that stuff. But if your job is just as a support alliance, you just show up and you annoy the heck out of everybody you can and get your points. The other thing that we were talking... Go ahead.
Support should actually, not for nothing, but like support should actually reinforce everyone else. Mm-hmm. Like 3 of your marches at SVS should be reinforcing, 3 of your closest players. So this way, if they get attacked, you can actually win points off of that, because there are, base hitting is kind of an unwritten rule right now in SVS. We've yet to kind of fight in SVS where it's like base hitting is like a big thing. It's more of like there's one person that's sending their 5th march out, and then it's like, really? You're going to do that? And I'll send one person out, like one troop out and completely eat it up. And I'm like, you take that hit because they're going to get destroyed. You take it. You don't port, you just take it. You know, so but yeah, everyone on the outskirts that's like not really in it, you should basically be reinforcing everyone. And that's, you know, like, take those points. Punish that attack. Punish that aggression. This aggression will not stand.
Take those points.
You take them.
That's it.
Take them all.
That's the new catchphrase. Just take it.
Take it.
You take it.
You don't port. You take that hit.
You don't port.
Burn all your ports. Just go to your store and burn all the ports.
Well, that is why, at least in newer states, some of the things you guys want to look out for, we've mentioned this on the stream before, but in the Alliance store, right, advanced relocators, they come in really handy for these kind of events, especially if you want to be active. I have gotten the 8-hour peace flares. You get some that auto regenerate, but the 8-hour peace flares, really useful to have. Even though there's like a 30-minute timer, you can find ways in order to use that and protect yourself, especially if you get yourself into a dicey situation. So don't rely on just the auto regenning ones. So find the stuff that's useful in the Alliance store and spend wisely with that. An active Alliance will get you a lot of Alliance points, and you'll get the currency in order to buy those kind of things. So try to take advantage of those as well. And buy the things when they're on discount, by the way.
Well, the biggest thing
and if
for
you're that
SVS...
worried,
Go ahead.
If you're that worried and you're in a tower and you have, like, you just don't want the rest of your troops just getting demolished, send them out to go farm. Leave nobody home. Only recall who you need. You know, so just do that. And then as you need a march, recall it. You know, because tile hitting at capital is probably really, really rare. You know, so send them out to farm and recall when you need. And if you need them really quick, just re-speed them up.
Do we ever tile hit? Nobody ever tile hits at SVS or Capital, really. I mean, that's not really like on your radar to even think about.
So if someone's launching like a giant rally at you, just send all your troops out to go farm.
Oh, that does bring up an interesting point too. Your towers and your headquarters are not attackable by the opposing state. So if you want another place and you have the defensive advantage, where it means when you lost prep stage, use the towers and your headquarters as a way of hiding your troops as well.
That's a good point, Vin. If you're not wanting to reinforce, like I would say more important, if you're at the capital, reinforce your people. But if you don't want to reinforce your people, maybe they're all, you know, maybe they're still out there actively getting hit and you just can't afford any more losses, send them to the tower. So, like, they can hit you all day and then port you out, but if you send it to the towers and stuff, like you said, Finn, it's completely safe. Or the facilities, like if you own a center, an analysis center or something like that, you can send it in there. But what you said earlier about prepping for SVS, the biggest prep that you could use as a support player is your teleports and your shields. Shields have a cooldown, so I found when we were at the Capitol, my shields were not as effective because because as many times as they set them on you and then you take one and then you that 30-minute cooldown is a lot of time to sit there like a sitting duck. So I found stocking up on your teleports because that's the easiest way to break a rally. Like, they wait till the last minute, make them waste their time. That's one thing that people don't realize, too, about a support role. Making people waste their time so they're not in a tower attacking your state who is trying to defend a tower. That is a huge support role. So make them waste their time sending a rally at you, wait till the very last second, and just teleport over. So if you really hit the market nonstop, like I have about 25 teleports saved up. Just from every time I see one, I'm buying one. That's probably why my castle's not leveled up enough, because I don't have the res saved up, because I'm buying teleports because I can't resist it. But I will be porting all around people hitting when they're setting rallies on me. So that's what I do. Finn, how many do you have? I know you have more than me.
I think I have 24. I've been using them lately because I've been doing the bunkers and stuff. Let me see how many I have. But to that point, actually, one of the things that I was doing is similar to that. And it was more in Capital Clash, but it should work the same with SVS, especially if you're on defense or offense, really. You do the shield, right? You break it for an attack. but chances are you're going to need some time in order to recuperate, right? You're going to need some time in order to heal. The capital stuff, hopefully, if your alliances are going like back and forth a little bit, it's going to last like the 8 hours. You're going to have kind of the trading back and forth. So you want to try, especially if you're going to be trying to do kind of those like quote unquote like suicide rallies where you're sending in for the points, but you're just trying to hit those towers and get stuff. You're going to want to try and do that batch healing and try to do like a rally roughly every like hour and a half. So what you can do is if you do a rally and somebody comes to attack you, you port during that time until you can bubble again. The bubble will buy you time to heal up, and then you break it again. So you're porting around during that half an hour block, and then you bubble again to finish off your heals. So you can kind of combine the two in order to make yourself an effective strategy to get the rallies through and then do the stuff. Go ahead, Nira.
So speaking of batch healing again, to kind of like streamline the process, what I do is I'll put my assembly point right next to my hospital. So I'll set a batch to heal, and then while I'm waiting for that to heal, I can just hit the helping hand on top of the assembly point to help everybody else in the alliance without going back into full screen trying to find it. They're right next to each other. And then when I'm done healing, I know because I'm already looking at it, and I could just batch heal again and then go back to helping everyone else heal.
Are you talking about moving your hospital? Yeah, I always, during SVS, I usually move this up right here.
My
Is that what you're talking
base in
about?
125 is purely built for clicks. Like
Right.
all my farms are in a direct row, so I can one swipe to collect all my farms. My hospital and my assembly hall are right where you open, where originally opens the screen. They're both visible. My training areas are all right there, so this way it's optimized for me to actually just be in there to kind of touch the stuff for like army formations and everything else is off screen, but the
Right.
stuff when you first click on settlement is kind of key. And make sure if you're batch healing that you actually click the help button to ask for help, because that is a pain in the ass. And you're like, what's going on? How come this isn't moving? And you're like, you idiot.
Nikki, will you please move your training places? Your
I
training.
moved them in.
You have got to move them in.
Wait, real quick, while you have the game up, T, can you show them the Alliance store? Because a lot of the people in the newer states, I don't think have seen it. I mean, in the older states, haven't seen the store in
So
the newer states.
yeah, so the Alliance store is hella cool here. I'm sorry,
No,
but
it's
I
horrible.
hate it.
I love it.
I mean, okay, I like that you can get speed ups, but I
We
don't
can
like
get-
how hard it
We
is to
can't get
it
shit
here.
in the old states. What are you talking about? Alliance store doesn't offer anything in the older states.
Okay,
No
but
talent resets, no
yeah,
relocators.
relocators, talent resets, and march recalls. It's like a lottery whether or not you get them.
I always
Yeah, but you
get
can
them.
collect
What are you
them.
talking about? I'm always getting them. Like I'm like always
ever
buying. Look, I buy out my shit.
I buy it. I mean, I haven't really had too much of a ride. At one point, I think I had like 26 advanced relocators just from the Alliance store. But
Yeah.
I only buy them on discount too. I don't even buy the
Yeah,
full
I'm
ones. And
buying
I have
when
like
they do the
500,000 Alliance
40.
points.
What is
Yeah.
it?
I'm
40%
cheap
or
as hell
up
in
to
the Alliance
60 or
store.
70%.
70%.
I do the 40s too.
I
will do the 40s.
I will do it for talent resets and for relocators. That's what I do.
You're
the
right
40s
that they're
for.
not there all the time, but during a week they usually pop up like 3 or 4 times
Yeah,
for me.
Right?
No, well, everybody's store is different. I mean,
I
Yeah,
haven't
crazy
it is
how-
random.
a
So,
week that was on sale.
oh
Yeah.
wow.
It's crazy that advanced relocators are like the toughest thing to get in the new state. I mean, that's it's like they give caps away for free, and advanced relocators are like the new gold standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to spend 4,000 biocaps just to move the capital today.
Oh,
Really?
oh,
her move and then use an alliance.
I'm not
relocator.
waiting.
Okay.
yeah.
He won't.
Seriously.
Yeah, I tried to move over there as quick as I possibly could. I was like third there. I was after Nikki, but he was too fast. He didn't want to wait.
I go through biocaps so quick. Remember the
Maybe
last
I can move away from trap, being that all you guys are at Capital. I can finally find the spot.
Yeah. All right.
It really is like a Super Saiyan Plasma 1 at this point. It's like freaking just
Love it.
biocaps everywhere.
Eric B
Love
said, "Why do
I
we
go
need
through
Sarge
biochem.
fragments in the store?" I've never bought. Sarge. I've never bought fragments in the store here.
No.
Like,
No.
But I would say, if they created the exchange thing, I would consider buying them if I could start like collecting Sarge in order to trade up for a legendary one. There might actually be purchases of the Sarge frags. Not right now, though. Right now, they're just completely wasted. So.
Sean said, "Yeah, get your ports from market. Who needs shields anyway?" To be honest, I am my troop level is at the point where I don't shield unless I'm holding reds, and I never have res. So I can't even count the number of times that I've shielded because I don't need to. I just either send my troops out or...
She's got nothing. You got nothing.
That's another thing. In like newer states, like I don't understand why people are trying to get their kill count up so high. They're just hitting bases just to kill troops.
Wow.
I only look for resources. I'm like, if you don't have anything, I'm gonna go right past you.
Yep.
Some of these people are just hitting people relentlessly just to kill troops, which makes no sense to me.
It is pointless. It's not healthy for the state. You're not doing anything for anybody. Like,
right.
Why?
True story.
Spot like doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. We're all about that res.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's only during kill event do I just focus on troops because I just want to hit somebody and get it done. I don't really care.
Oh.
I hate kill event.
I don't think she knows about that.
Like Nikki kicking people for their resources.
Stop.
So maybe I'm not the only cold-blooded one.
Okay,
Just saying.
listen. I don't
Never
know.
my right and left hand.
I don't know how long it's been, and he hasn't moved to the hive. And I was like, well, I used a random relocator, and I happened to be really close to him. I'm like, I wonder if he has any resources. And he said he had just been on like 2 days ago. I'm like, okay, so he comes on,
But
does
she goes
nothing with us, which means he's doing something. It has to be gathering.
Hold on. She asked me. She goes, "Have you messaged him to see if he would respond to come to the hive?" I was like, "Let me see." I checked. I messaged him 3 times to move to the hive. She was like, "Okay." 2 seconds later, kicked from the alliance, and she's reconning him.
I said if he has nothing, I'll invite him back.
Wait a minute. If he has nothing, I'll invite him back. But if he...
Meaning if he had nothing, and there's no reason for me to attack him, that I would send him an invite. But he had a lot, so...
He had a lot.
I just want to say that I need to pass the crown of cold-blooded queen to that one.
So for anyone joining State 359, make sure you join RSG because if you're not part of RSG, you are a target for Nikki.
Just move to the hive.
Yeah, just...
And for those who are waiting for the second code.
Oh, right. Oh, also, while I'm about to give the second code out, Brad Harris donated $10.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it. Thank you so much, Brad. He said we missed his question.
We're getting to all the questions. Don't worry.
Okay,
we'll still get to all the questions.
Yeah,
as long as you have a question before it, we will get to it.
I'm sorry. Brad's goes first, Finn, when it comes up, because he did do a donation. But the second code is Grabby Hand. So I think it's adorable that...
Grabby Hand.
Grabby
Just
Hand.
one hand.
And you know, this is funny, is that they watch our RSG's other streams. So RSG also streams like a couple other PC games like Don't Starve Together. We play that a lot. We play some other games, and apparently the State of Survival devs watch those. AF watches those because Grabby Hand is a term that we use on the Don't Starve Together game. So it's really funny that they're using all of RSG, not just the bunker info. I think it's hilarious. Thank you guys so much for the codes, but Grabby Hand's the second code. So the first code for you guys that don't know is it's Stamina, and the second code is Grabby Hands. Brad Harris, thank you. My gosh.
I feel like next week's code should be Brad Harris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably
Just putting it
should
out
be
there.
Brad Harris. It might be. Who knows? Thank you so much.
I don't think he put question before it, so it's not showing
Oh.
up, but I'm trying to find it.
We'll
I'm trying
definitely
to find it.
find it.
I'm trying. Hold on. Okay, last place.
All right. Well,
I don't have any question from you, unfortunately, Brad. I just went through our entire chat log.
Brad, please retype your question in chat.
If you can add the
for us.
question again, we'll get to it. I just went through our chat log for the entire stream, and I don't have it.
Yeah, I just physically scrolled through and I was just like, sorry if you missed my question, or sorry if you already covered this, but I didn't see the question.
You know why? Because can't you like put a question or a comment with your donation? I think maybe he tried to do that, but it didn't for whatever reason.
That might.
No, we should be able to see that too. I just looked at that. He didn't have any comment with the donation, so
it didn't go through.
You just put another 10. Thank you. I know we saw that, Brad. Yeah, just type your question in and we'll answer it because I don't see it in the log. As any question from you right now. So yeah, just go ahead and type it and we'll get to it. Not a problem.
What's up, Froggy? Thank you for watching. So you guys got both the codes. Anything
Unless you
else?
did it with a different name too.
What?
It's possible he was on a different account because some people have multiple YouTube accounts too. So I don't know if you asked it on a different one. But we can ask all the other questions we had queued up.
So Brad, you didn't have any question whatsoever? You just wanted to say a thanks?
No.
Wait, I'm confused.
And just to clear something up, that wasn't a shot at Daedric for the amount of kills.
Oh my god, who cares?
Delete.
Gonna voice chat. I'm talking about new players. I just think it's cool to kill things.
Delete.
Thank you,
Brad
Delete.
Harris rocks. Thank you, Delete. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome.
What conditioner do you use?
I'm assuming that was for Nikki. Nikki, what conditioner do you use?
That's not for me.
It's got
Yeah, it could be for Nero or I. What the hell?
It's not for any of you guys. It's for Nikki.
Whatever's in the shower.
Why are we doing this now?
Yeah. We're talking about conditioner. We have to. Yeah, see?
My wife's got some like crazy Hawaiian shit that's fucking popular right now.
Oh, it was for Delete.
See, it was for Delete. You see?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You just assume it's Nikki. You have some men up here with hair too. I'm just throwing that out there.
What is it? It's like Alba Botanicals or some shit. I don't know.
Restoration said, "Damn, Dale, you fine."
You know, you guys know where the gym is? Is it over there?
Don't worry.
That's why he's over here.
Are you asking because you don't know what it is?
Yeah.
So, is there anything else?
Rain of $1.
Right, White Rain. He's talking about White Rain. That's a North Carolina thing right there. White Rain.
I know that bottle.
White Rain hairspray.
I've seen it before.
Yeah, my
It's
grandma
like a-
uses it.
Well, you know, hey, whatever works.
So, guys, is there anything else that we need to touch on as far as SVS support tips? Also, another thing is get on Discord. Get on Discord. If you actually want to play this game actively and really participate in SVS coordination with your state, get on Discord. I can't stress it enough.
Voice chat.
Yes.
Voice chat makes everything so much easier.
And
As
don't
Nikki
do
likes
it
to
on
say-
an internet connection that has firewalls that prevent you from that listen to anybody else. Okay?
That is 2% of the people in the world. Right there.
As Nikki likes to say in chat, she always says, "Get on VC." She does her clap in between her stuff when she wants to emphasize it, and I always think it's so cute. But the VC part is so key for SVS, but even for things like Reservoir Raid and stuff, we have the best time when we do that. It's just fun. But SVS is really key to coordinating your rallies. If you're doing double rallies for different alliances, trying to coordinate together, it's so hard to do in game because you're trying to watch the map, you're trying to set towers, you're trying to pull out reinforcements so people don't lose things, but then also trying to coordinate by typing into the DMs. It's just impossible. It's impossible for me. I'm not that talented.
Yeah, real-time contact in this game is big. You know, unfortunately, usually when it's time for res raid, I'm usually cooking bacon or yelling at my kids, both of which aren't really res raid involved. So I typically stay off. I'm naughty. but
You are naughty.
My team's pretty solid.
But Nikki is sitting there ordering subs, and her and Nero are fighting, and we're still in there and enjoying it. It's absolutely great, so you should still join no matter
I
what.
like Zoltan. Zoltan just put in, Nikki talked my ear off in VC. It wasn't bad, though.
It wasn't bad, though.
It wasn't.
Aww.
No, when we were in Res Raid, yeah, she was definitely teaching everyone. I felt bad I wasn't able to join because I had like a phone call, and then as soon as I joined, it was Nikki just telling Zoltan like everything about Res Raid.
Yeah, I felt bad I wasn't able to join too. I blame someone in this chat for it.
I wasn't on the phone with you.
Nero didn't sign me up for Res Raid. And I'm mad at him.
Oh.
He's in trouble. Now, granted, I didn't
Aren't
tell
you
Nero.
supposed to be?
No,
Yeah.
He should just know. He should just know.
I mean, he should just know.
He should just know.
He is not the smarter one in that relationship. He has said it, so you should have told Nikki.
Thank you.
Looks like he said no.
Mm-hmm.
She's joining.
And Visinerd said #community. That's awesome that you guys do that. I wish my group did. Honestly, in Visinerd, I don't know how people play big events and coordinate them without doing some VC. Even our state in 125 does some VC coordination, like like planning stuff. So I don't know how people do it without it. And VC is just so much more. It's just helpful when you're actively playing it because it's so difficult to type and watch the map and do things. But when you're on voice chat, you can just Nikki, go get this thing, or Nikki will yell at Nero to make sure he's raining this person. It's just it's so much easier on VC. So
yeah, it's like, hey, how many people do you have to heal left? Or like, where do you want to hit next? Those are the things that when you're typing, it's like, it's already gone. Oh wait, we're already on to the next subject. But when you're VCing with someone, even if there's like a language discrepancy, you'd be surprised how it does help big regardless.
Yeah.
Letty wants to see your settlement. She can see Burning Fin.
Oh, Burning Fin. This is my Burning Fin right there. It's a little fin man. He's burning.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always look at it when I'm annoyed with Finn. I just go and look at it, and then I'll set a couple
I just don't like
flowers.
the crotch fire. If it wasn't for the crotch fire, I'd be fine.
Oh, I just put that one there too.
The crotch fire is the only kind of disturbing one. Everything else is fine, but the crotch fire, yeah.
I think it's perfect. It's fine.
No, not a fan of the crotch fire.
It is like my little Blair Witch project. I actually was initially designing it as Blair Witch project, but then somebody said, "Is that Finn?" I was like, "Yeah, that's who it is. It's Finn."
Well, that's because you spent the 2 streams before spelling out like bad things about Finn and Durgan with your paths, and then realized that it was hard to make the letters. Then you just made a burning Finn.
I mean, not for nothing, but the crotch is the warmest part of the body. Just saying.
Yeah, but if it's on fire, that usually requires medical attention. If it's burning down there, yeah, go see.
All right, we're way off track here. We're
way
so
off track. Okay, let's go talk about that thick pizza again.
Do you have any other? No. Do you have any more of the questions?
Full circle.
Finn, was there any more questions?
Yeah, there were.
Okay, quick questions. Come on.
All right. So, question. Dustin. No, we answered that one. Oh, is Nero still there?
He went to let the dog
potty
out.
break.
Okay, so I'll save that one for Nero. See, Apex. We asked the question about the time frame. That one. Dustin asked what state you guys are from. I think we answered that. They're all from 125, and then also in 359 with me, which that's my only state. Nightmare question. Nightmare keeps on asking questions about things that are happening. Question: should it be against state rules to fight for bunkers and facilities and centers during SVS final stage? What penalties would you dish out? So he doesn't mean bunkers and facilities. He means the centers. Should it be against state rules during SVS as you're prepping for state warfare to fight for centers?
You mean like Gas doing to us right now?
Yeah, that's why he's asking all the questions about things happening right now. Yes, that is correct.
I mean, technically, I don't think it should be illegal. I think it.
The problem is the system, right? The system of the centers heavily weights the attacker because the defender has to hold it for 24 hours and the attacker needs to find 30 minutes that you're sleeping or not paying attention in order to hit your center to take it over. So unless there is anything that prevents you from attacking for 24 hours, like I don't really see much of an issue with it. Is it a like kind of a courteous thing, especially during SVS, to not do it? Maybe. But the whole system is skewed in the favor of an attacker for centers. And it's just the way it is. So you just kind of expect to maybe alternate all the time where it's just like you hit, you take it over. Next time, they're going to find a time to hit you. They're going to take it over. And it's just going to be a back and forth with the center. Unless you're just like, you have a center all to yourself. But like I don't really see any particular issue with it. It's just more of kind of a courteous thing. But
should I just leave my troops in there 24/7?
I mean, you
mean your tier ones? Is that what you mean? Your tier 1 troops in there?
No, I had I had all my best troops in there forever, hiding under the shield. That might be a game exploit. If you're just nonstop getting attacked, just leave them in the center under the protected shield. They can never be lost.
Yeah.
And next question.
Oh, Nero's back. So Nero, question to you from Durgan. He wants to know what's the best Pokemon to capture.
Oh, gotta go with the old school Charizard.
There you go. The reason he's asking, we have the what is it called? The Pokecord Discord bot. Pokecord.
There's a second one that you gotta add too.
That Nikki has access to add it. So
our server Discord is pretty fun. Like our state 359 RSG server is fun.
Yeah. So let's see. Next question.
The other one's got random music everywhere. It's like not so great.
People were playing in like Central Park after dark, and that game creeps me out. They were getting hurt.
Apex Predator question: what level troops and how many troops do I need to go on a mass murder spree during kill event for my bloodthirst is rising day by day?
You need Nero level troops, to be honest.
No, just kill during kill event. So there's a difference between.
Oh, I thought he was talking about like during SVS if he wants to go. Like,
yeah, in kill event you can go kill lobies all the hell you want. Like we have little rules where you can't attack the same person like 3 times and stuff on a single attack. But yeah, go have fun during kill event. You can kill whoever the hell you want. State you have to kill somebody within 3 levels, so you do want to be cautious about doing that, and you're gonna need strong troops and everything else in order to do that. So. Let's see. Next question. We asked Obito's. Oh, so Dustin is Flash.
Oh, okay.
So Dustin is the one that reconned you.
As long as it wasn't the weird 69 recons I used to get in 125.
I mean...
The 69 rallies and stuff like that. Okay. Next question.
That went in a different direction. You tell us not to derail the conversation.
I know. Let's just keep going.
How was that? How was the 69 rallies
just
any worse than us talking
Finn.
about conditioner and thick pizza? Like, I don't understand. Like, how is that any better?
Finn?
The dark part of my life, I prefer not to go there.
There are so many comments to go off of that, but I'm just going to move on.
Yeah,
right.
It's 11:20. Finn, move on.
Okay.
It's early.
Next question.
It's early. We got another hour.
No, she wants to do Among Us. That's what's happening. She's ready to do the post-stream Among Us. So, okay. Next question. Next question, Jeremy. Will we do any rallies in 359 tomorrow for points? What time? I need to sneak over while we're 0-4 in 130.
I answered that already.
Yeah, we'll do stuff. Dustin, question: can I join with my alt in RSG? No, because Nikki will think you are a spy and kick you and burn you.
Accurate.
You can join with your main.
Join and don't tell us it's your alt, but just tell like me it's your alt, and I won't tell Nikki.
Don't tell Nikki.
I mean,
Because
we're not an alt alliance, so.
We're not, but we have people with alts from I think other people that have told me. So yeah, you're fine.
She's so. We're not an all alliance.
So.
I love Nikki so much. Not as much as Nero, obviously, but
I love
she
Nikki more than
is
Nero.
amazing.
Whoa!
I'm just
You
saying.
know the sad part though, right? You're saying we're not an alt alliance, but all of you play on 125.
And to be honest,
Every single one of you will go on 125 before 359, and then you say it's not an alt alliance. I'm just
To
Actually,
be fair,
you want to know
to
something?
be fair,
Every night when I go to sleep, I leave my phone on 359, and every time I wake up, 359 is the first place I log in.
she's got
So-
some commitment there, buddy. Don't be fussing at her. And to be honest,
No, I didn't say she doesn't log in.
125. Oh my god, there would be hell to pay. I would be in so much trouble if I disappeared in 125.
why would they pixelate you or something?
I still don't understand how
Oh,
Nikki's
wow.
point matters. I'm sorry, Nikki. If you leave your phone on 359 for 1 minute and wake up to 359 for 1 minute and spend 23 hours in 125, that still makes 359 an alt.
If anyone can do it, it's Nikki.
Oh, I know she can. I know she's there. She's usually yelling at me because I'm doing bad things with Trap and Horde, but still, I'm just, just saying.
Brad Harris.
Yeah,
dude.
I remember when I said infantry
This
to
is true.
trap, he was so pissed.
Thank you so much, Brad Harris. Another $10. We appreciate you, man. Totally appreciate you. Thank you so much. I
Okay.
can't believe you don't have a question. You should throw us a question. But you know, honestly, the alt guy, the guy who asked about the alt, who was that again?
Flash from LGC.
That was okay. So you can join as long as you donate and you're active in all the traps and you send all the rallies. And you're not a spy, like Nikki said, you can join. Actually, I don't care if you're a spy or not, as long as you donate and you're active in
I
everything.
care. I care.
So he's not a spy. He just happens to be in a different alliance too. It's fine.
It doesn't matter. Honestly, if you donate
How,
and you
wait,
join
how
all the
does
trap.
Nikki define a spy? I'm curious. How do you define a spy?
Anybody that's not RSG.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
no, okay. Honestly, this is a running thing for a while, but my issue with spies is not really an issue anymore. It was from a while ago, and my issue was more based around a specific alliance that I was worried about having spies
Oh, I
in
remember.
wherever,
Yeah,
and that's as far as I'm gonna get into it.
Okay.
I remember that. That was a big issue.
But it's the most fun to anybody that comes in and say, who is that person? Nikki, do you know who that person is? They are acting kind of weird. I don't know. They might be a spy. And she just
Nikki's a spy.
loses it.
And be like, they got res though. They got mad.
You should probably kick them. You should probably kick them and get that res. Letty says, can I join the Alliance in 359? Hell yes. Come join, Letty. Even though you're sus as hell, you can join us. I don't care. As long as you donate. And
Actually,
participate.
I don't know what Venom's favorite drink is. I mean,
Yes,
we've
you
gone
do.
through
You do.
we've gone through margarita mix. We've gone through we did wine.
No.
I remember that.
Beer is my favorite.
Beer is your favorite.
Hmm.
You had a Yangling.
There you go. If I'm gonna drink regular, it's gonna be a Yingling, or it's gonna be like craft brewery. I like craft beers, so
Nikki, I don't know. I don't know what Nikki's drink is. Drink of choice. Vodka soda?
Ew.
ew. It's a White Claw. I know, Nikki. It's a White Claw.
No
No, my-
law, White Claw.
My go-to is tequila. Vodka makes me an angry bitch.
Oh,
What? Wait.
Tequila.
It makes you one?
oh my.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Nikki in like angry bitch mode?
Angry mode?
That's it. If we all go meet up in April in Florida, that is what we're doing. We're getting Nikki some tequila and putting her in a room full of like a club or something.
Oh,
No.
We
I'll
are
drink
so
tequila
accidentally starting a
all
level
night.
11 horde.
Tequila is what I regularly drink. That's normal. Vodka is what makes me
Okay,
angry.
so vodka is what. Remember that. Somebody remember that.
Wow.
Okay.
So
All
vodka
right.
it is. All right. See, this whole thing is derailed, McVenom, and you
I know.
try to
I'm
stop
sorry.
the
I'm
derail.
sorry.
Why sorry? It's fun this time.
Question.
All right.
Come on.
What?
Go faster. Come on, let's go with the questions.
What is this snapping of your finger? You just started like a 5-minute discussion on alcohol.
11:30.
You are sitting right in front of a "Beware of Zombie" sign, so they got to be getting close.
I mean, you're not wrong. Okay, next question. Let's see. Nightmare. Question for Delete. What are the odds we can get you in that pretty castle if you're gonna help us out in 359? I'll give you 30 mil steel if you do.
30 mil steel. You got 30 mil steel, dude?
He has a farm account in our alliance. Tempting Delete with steel. Holy crap.
Nikki,
My biggest thing, I don't know, not to toot my own horn, but I am very important in 125. So, I mean, that's 359 is my heart, but 125 is my soul.
Yep, and 359 is not an alt alliance.
Oh,
No, it's
kidding. Totally kidding.
it's where I park it's my storage. It's my storage facility.
Yeah. That's what it is. 359 RSG, not an alt alliance, but here for your storage. All right,
But I'm
next.
also not the most important player. I'm not the most important player there.
You were
I'm by far the most important player.
at the beginning, and then you just kind of sat there.
Yeah. Now I wait for 8 days to go by before I log back in, and my entire screen's gray, and I'm like, what am I even doing?
Do you get those cool
But then I
packs,
come in
though?
and I join Trap with infantry.
Do you get those cool, we've missed you packs?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
worth
nice.
I mean, it's worth the 8-day cooldown to kind of like get those packs, because it's like, wow, I can just go and grab Miho, Zoe, and Ash real quick. Put them in my hero training facility and get them boosted up. Cheat the system.
All right.
All right, next one is, I think we only have a couple more. Let me see. Actually, no, they were just statements with the word question. Let me reset really quick just to see if. Oh yeah.
I got zeroed Costa Tequila. Oh.
Okay, this is a good one. So it's for Nero from Apex. What are good chief gear packs to get, and how do the badges directly affect the stats? Is it additive or cumulative?
I don't know. I never buy the packs that are always there. I always wait for them to be like bundled, just because it's a better deal.
Like the offers, the special offers?
Yeah, special
offers are where it's at.
Yeah,
Bundles are there for like when you need an emergency. It's basically the way that it is.
3 or 4 to like upgrade something. Then yeah, but other than that, don't bother doing that. I don't know. They boost your stats a lot, but how I normally do it is I'll start with the infantry, and then work my way through the hunters, then the riders, and especially with the hero gear, a lot of people bounce around. So now since they combined all of the parts, you can't. I mean, it all adds together. But when they didn't combine all the parts, you would have parts for the shooty heroes and parts for the punchy heroes, and whatever ones you had more of, you would focus on that. But I feel personally, like it's better to max or to upgrade all 3 to the same tier and then move to a different punchy or shooty or stabby.
I hate this term.
I know.
I know. I'm just looking at the face of Nikki as she says it.
Nikki's slowly crushing her soul.
There's
man.
Yeah,
they are
definitely.
truly
That's
the punchy,
exactly right.
the stabby, and the shooty.
Same thing with talents. Build your talents around the troops that you use the most, and the troops that die the most are infantry.
Yeah.
So your talent should be based off of more infantry. And I've actually, there's one thing that me and Daedric actually used to talk a lot about is he was big into lethality and I'm big into attack. And the way that I've kind of like been explained to it and figured it out is attack is how much damage you have the potential to do, and lethality is out of that original damage, how much can actually be accentuated really big. You know, so you really want the opportunity to attack much higher. So the overall attack is much more important. And the talent tree, unfortunately, is set up differently, where like the last thing in your talent is lethality for the biggest buff, but you have to go through an extra additive to kind of increase that. And I kind of steer away from that. I've actually built it up a different way where my concentration is purely attack across the board. So, and then I let my chief gear, and that's why this brought up is that's why my badges, I let my badges increase my lethality more than anything else. My gear and my badges increase my lethality.
Yeah, and badges, I'll update like upgrade 3 infantry badges, and then I'll move to a hunter and a rider, and then I'll do another 3 infantry or 2, whatever I have enough for. But gear's a big deal, because a lot of people go for speed ups. To the race to 30 is ridiculous to me, because you can have a 30 HQ with terrible gear, and you could be a 26 sitting pretty with 9s, but have great gear, and you demolish them all day. You know, as long as you have a decent crew behind you to fill the rallies and to help you out, there's no reason why you would lose to a 30 just because he has T10s, but no gear, pretty much.
Didn't we do that?
Yeah, actually, yeah. What was I, 28 or 29? 28, and we won again. Still 1-star, who had trash gear, and we won.
Well, also trash stats, but
right.
Yeah. I think that's the other thing too, because you're mentioning buying packs, right? And that it's a good thing you're asking like Neuro and Delete, because if you're a spender, your strategy is going to be different than if you're not a spender with exactly what this is doing. So I know Apex at least has been spending, so it's perfect that he's asking, because you got to build differently, because you're going to have a different end goal than a free to play. Because I know already, by the way, just seeing everything in chat, like Apex Chief Gear is better than mine, just because I'm not able to keep up with like getting all the extra stuff that you need in order to upgrade, especially when you get to like the designs and stuff. Like it's just not able to keep up. So you have to build exactly to where you are. If you're going to be just like a casual spender, if you're going to be like a bigger spender, make sure you ask people that are spending in the same way as you and doing so well. Because I'll tell you right now, like I will not be good advice for somebody that's spending. Mine is going to be completely free to play, and it's a different strategy altogether than if you're spending, because you get more resources that are rarer in that case.
If you're going to spend on things that don't go away. Spend on things like your hero gear, your chief gear, your badges. Spend on those things. Don't spend on speed ups. Don't spend on reserves. Don't spend on things like that. You know, spend on stuff that's going to stay with you and increase your stats. Because at the end of the game, this is really a statistical math game more than anything else. And your stats are the most important thing. You know, dig through those reports. You know, if you're losing to a particular player, and you can see like deficiencies somewhere, capitalize on those. You know, if they're heavy on hunter, you know, go heavy on infantry, you know, to kind of counteract. You know, if you lose a rally that you think you should win, take a look at your talents, reset those. You know, make sure that you're building your settlement the proper way, because you can spend very easily incorrectly in this game, and it's designed to do that. You know, because you can really maximize your account spending effectively and efficiently much better than just kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to buy bundles. No, you got to buy custom crates of choice. Make sure you map out how much you need of everything to kind of make sure that everything makes sense. You know, don't overspend, because it'll just sit in your backpack forever, like myself and Daedric.
And also, if you spend on the gear and you don't use the gear through the week and you wait for an event, those speed ups come with the rewards when you're upgrading during the event on those specific days. You get speed ups, and then after the event with your rank, you get the event speed ups with that. You get legendary fragments. You get all the stuff you would need to upgrade your settlements. So with buying the gear, you're also upgrading your settlement, it just might take a little longer, but
Yeah.
who cares? You're sitting on that gear.
Yeah.
All right, and that is it for questions.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. You want more? I can make up more.
No, I'm ready to play some Among Us. This was a great stream. I love you guys. I think it was very informative. I'm trying to debate on whether I should stay up all night. So I'm up at 5. What do you guys think?
Which state are you going to be competing in?
Both.
You sure?
Yeah.
Then stay up.
You think?
I was gonna say if it's 125, go to sleep. I don't care. But if it's
Yeah.
what? What?
I mean, honestly, 125 probably doesn't care either because I'm like a little peon. Me and poor little Mako are just button helpers. But I feel like my help button is very, very important.
It is.
It is. So I am
Totally
there. I press the help button.
I think tomorrow's going to be in 125. I think that's going to be a really tough battle. They've got 3. They say they got 4 max settlements. I don't believe it. We'll see though. I'll be sitting in the tower. Just
We have a
firing away.
viewer. We have a viewer support, like a very good viewer who's watched us since the beginning of doing the bunker. Who is in the state that we're going against.
Ooh.
A max player. Very max player.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this should
We
be
shall
interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining and hanging out with us. I know it's pretty late at night. We're 11:30, but we're also going to be on RSG Discord. I don't know if Nikki and Nero are going to hang around. I hope they do, but we sometimes will play Among Us for a little bit afterwards, just because it's fun to hear people rage and get mad. But you guys are welcome to join us there if you want. Good luck on your state versus state. Nero, Nikki, thank you guys so much for joining. Anytime you want to come back, you're welcome to. I'll tell you the same thing I tell Mako. You guys are great. We love you. So much information. So anytime you want to come back, you're welcome to. Delete. Say bye.
Bye.
And
That
then
is a lemur riding a unicorn.
oh,
It's a
Nero's
sloth.
shirt. No, it's a sloth.
Oh my god, awful.
A lemur?
Awful.
It was.
What?
Oh.
I got turned into a zombie and I know that's a sloth. Awful.
It's beer. Is the beer talking? And then of course Finnadoodle with Finna Zombie. What is it? What are you? A zombie?
Yeah. The zombies got me. I've been
Gotcha.
here too long.
So happy Friday the 13th, guys. You guys have a great night. Have a great SVS. Thank you for all of the donations. We thoroughly appreciate it. And we'll see you. Oh, next week Finn will not be here. Let us know if you have any ideas for what you want the stream to be about, any discussions that are going on. But next week Finn won't be here. It'll just be me, Delete, and whoever else wants to join. And then the following, the 27th, we're going to take that week off because it's Thanksgiving holiday week, and we're just going to take the 27th off so we can enjoy time with the family and not worry about it. We might still be in RSG playing other games, but we're not going to officially have a stream that night. So just as a forewarning. But thank you guys, and have a good night. Happy hunting.
Rock on, Alan.
Rock on, Daedric.
Rock on, Daedric.